about talking about it because now it's become a little bit of a thing.
An
Don
occasion.
Miguel, yes, about talking about the SDC stuff. So we'll do that. We'll probably do a bit of tribute to Bernard at the beginning. And then we'll obviously Marvel had the most, so we'll do DC first.
I thought you said trivia. Let's give us some Bernard Cribbins trivia.
Yeah, what was his favourite kind of sandwich? A sandwich made out of wombles.
Why Wombles?
Because he was
the narrator of the Wombles. How dare you?
Yes.
Yeah, how dare people dare me a lot of things, so that's fine.
It's
Add that to the list.
Mike. Make sure his questions for Doctor Mind are really fucking hard.
No, there's no such
They're
thing.
not that bad. Well, I don't even remember what category you both picked. They're saved. They're in here.
I put missing. Yeah, I put missing episodes.
I put.
I know more about classic Who.
I did 30
like
Doctor Who.
Pick the Whittaker here.
Hey, least amount of episodes, least amount to remember.
But are they worth remembering? That's the question.
Are they all questions? Can I have just questions about Alan Cummings' performance in The Witchfinders?
I wish. No.
But yeah.
Missing episodes was a tricky one because there's been so many of them animated that I'm asking questions about episodes that I've seen in animation, even though they are still technically missing.
To be fair, I've probably seen the ones that you've seen animated. I mean, I'm not declaring that I know I've seen more missing episodes than you or George or anyone on the internet, but there's a good chance I've seen what you've seen. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
You might, so we might actually get some questions right then, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know, missing episodes is a tricky one, but we'll see.
Did that come up last series?
It did, but whoever it was that picked it was terrible at it.
So no pressure to Connor.
No, that's fine. I like pressure. I like pressure.
Not at all.
I like pressure. No, particularly after one. It's one that I picked, so I walked myself. If it's a can of worms, I'm going to walk into, then it's my can of worms. So it's fine.
Yeah. There's always the general knowledge round anyway afterwards as well, so...
Oh.
I think I did much worse on that than I did on
the
the specialist subject. But then no, actually I think I did bad on my specialist subject because did I do Sixth Doctor last time?
Oh, it's less to remember than Jodie.
Oh, that's a good question.
I think I did the Sixth Doctor,
I
but
think you did.
I think all I watched was Vengeance on Varos, and I think I even got that question wrong. So, but then I managed to.
The thing is that I'm going to write the questions, but I've never seen Trial of a Time Lord. So you were kind of fine. You only had one season's worth of questions.
Oh, that's a shit. Less to remember than Jodie.
I still squeaked through to the final somehow.
You watched one serial, and then bearing in mind Mike hasn't seen season 2 of Colin Baker Trial of a Time Lord. What is this performance?
Where am
I
I?
looked up a couple of questions from it, even though I've never seen it. But the majority were all from season whatever it is.
22.
22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, 23 is trial. Yeah.
Shall we begin, gentlemen? Are we ready?
I certainly am, yeah.
Yeah. Audio is working. I'm going to go live.
Let's.
And then click it to private, and then I'll have a recording backup to send you for me anyway. So.
Oh.
I'm going to get some Bernard Cribbins trivia.
This isn't like
Trivial Pursuit.
This isn't the fucking Weekly Planet. Let's do Bernard Cribbins trivia. What colour pants did he wear on the set of The End of Time?
If you don't listen to the Weekly Planet, they don't do trivia like that.
Green trivia.
Trivia quizzes, 20 questions and answers. There's an actual.
All right, click on it, but make sure it's tasteful.
But I don't know if this is the same Bernard Cribbins or not.
Don't know if this is the same Bernard Cribbins or not. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nerd Bubble Podcast, episode 210. I am not Nick Mason because I'm definitely not Australian or rich or charismatic. Just like my co-host, Connor.
John Krasinski. John Krasinski.
And we are joined in as a surprise special guest. Oh, surprise!
Ooh.
Surprise!
Special effects, baby. We're better than Marvel at this rate. Ooh.
Oh, visual effects artist strike incoming.
Yeah, no, except without the visuals.
Yes,
Except
we're
without the
just
visuals.
we're just on strike. It's Michael Wilson's back once again,
Woo!
and this time he doesn't have to talk about Morbius
Hello.
unless he wants to.
Hi everyone, I am not Mr. Sunday Movies, nor am I Kevin Feige or Kang the Conqueror, but I am here.
Oh,
I'm glad you mentioned a certain conqueror, because boy, he's going to do some conquering in a couple years' time. But guys, don't worry, we're not going to cover it now. We can't travel in the future, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Just as we put up a video about is this Marvel's end because of all the arguments
End game.
as a la Thor, Love and Thunder, and Keyboard Warriors as such. I think Kevin Feige just got his penis out at San Diego Comic-Con and said, "Just look at all these veins on my penis. Look, there's Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. Badum-tish.
Look at my Charlie Cox.
look at my Charlie Cox. Look at my. That is the name of the episode.
Look at
my Charlie Cox. Basically, for the first time since, was it 2019?
Or 18?
They weren't at 20 because of death, and they weren't at 2021 because some death, but also D23. Which we still got D23 to come. We still got Investor Day this year.
Yeah, of
We're
course.
definitely just going to get fingered by that magic mouse.
Oh!
That's your title.
Yeah, fingered by the magic mouse. But it's okay. Don't tell your parents.
With a side of Charlie Cock. Side of Charlie Cox.
Mickey Mouse's Cox house. I don't know. Yeah. So,
House of Cox.
oh, that's a good one. For the first time in 3 years, we got a MCU panel at SDCC
MCU?
2022. MCU.
MCU.
And it wasn't via electronic mail.
No.
We got a whole bunch of announcements about Phase 5 and Phase 6, and there was obviously a lot of projects that we still know are coming that didn't get their full announcement that are probably going to get shoved down our throats in the next
time.
few months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that. So we got Mike is here to help us break all that down. We'll do the two DC things. We'll do them.
The puny 2.
Puny gods.
Next, compared to Marvel's
Compared to Marvel's
countless
giant cocks,
2 dozens
just
of
two
cocks.
shriveled testicles in the wind. One of them looks like Zachary Levi.
I reckon that it was Kevin Feige who called in that tip that Henry Cavill was going to turn up just like, haha, fuck you.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Do you know what?
Everyone's hopes up
Do you,
to go.
do you know what would have been wicked though? Would have been wicked if like that, everyone was expecting that, and then Henry Cavill walked out with Kevin Feige, and here's your new Captain Britain.
Oh.
People were saying that, yeah, that would have been epic.
I think he would. I still think he would, because I've got obviously there's some I've got loads of new stuff on my phone, but we're gonna start with a bit of sad news today.
Definitely sad.
I
Out
think
of
the
blue
saddest
news.
I've felt in 165 years, which is coincidentally not when Bernard Cribbins was born, but we lost Wilf today. Bernard Cribbins at 93 years old.
Donna Noble's granddad.
To so many, and to Connor 5 minutes ago, he found out he was in the Wombles.
And
Old Jack's Boat, Jack and Nori, many things, including it was Tommy in Dalek Invasion Earth 2150 AD movie, wasn't he? That was Tommy. Was Tommy his name?
Yeah.
was
The
he
policeman, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tom Donaldson, I think.
That's the one. The second Dalek movie, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
'Cause-
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, sure.
I mean, you can take my word for it or not. It's fact.
facts.
I think Mike. How do you remember?
Tom Campbell.
Yes, Tom Campbell. He
Yeah,
said,
Mike,
He's,
aka
he's
Tom-
just fucking said
Mike,
that.
aka Tom Campbell, with the facts.
Mike, well, your thoughts on the passing? Yes. What your first exposure to him, and obviously what means the most to you, like in terms of him as a
I'm a
person.
little bit older than you, so he's been a fixture. He's been a fixture on kind of TV and films for me for a long time. So I go back to obviously narrating the Wombles, the Railway Children. He was really good in that I watched as a youth. The second Doctor Who Peter Cushing film. And then, I mean, Wilf in Doctor Who probably is the most impactful even still. So yeah.
It was. I don't think because Will put it on Twitter that he hadn't been this upset since Elizabeth Sladen had passed, and I think that's quite fair because I was saying to Connor before we started that Doctor Who is a fucking cesspit sometimes of some of the worst personalities and opinions and clashes of stuff. But one of the very few things I think we can all agree on as a fandom, even before today, is how universally loved Bernard Cribbins and his portrayal of Wilf was throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I feel so, I do feel sad, but I'm happy to know that we got him and that we managed. There is one more adventure to have.
Of course, yeah.
And it's
2023.
I can't. Yeah, I can't believe that that we do get one last go with him, and I think it's so lucky that one of Russell's first thoughts when he's making a story is I've got to get Wilf back, and how lucky we are that he thought that at that time and didn't save it for later. So I think for me, like my mum's a big fan of the Railway Children as well. Like, so I've watched that many a bank holiday morn, and from that the Wombles as well. I think mainly because reruns and that on the children's BBC, and even like his recent stuff with CBeebies, like Jack and Ori, like that he did yonks ago, but then coming back for Old Jack's Boat, which he was in with, like he did an episode with Freema Agyeman that was written by Russell as well, and that was quite a nice little Who reunion for the kids that probably had no idea who all these people were. And I think, because I did put out a little thing, I was like, I think he did kind of just become the world's granddad when he became Wilf, because I don't know anyone who watched it at that time that didn't love him and didn't just want to take him home, and was like, I was so glad that we got him to travel in the TARDIS, in the end of time. I'm glad we finally got Wilf as the companion, because that was, I think, just what everyone wanted at that time, like a nice
ultimate bit of fan service.
A nice little comfort blanket, like before the end, and it's weird because the people like him, I don't think you ever sort of think about losing them really, because they'd been around for so long, and you just wrongly assume that people like Bernard will live forever. But like at 93 years old, I think you saw when he was on set, like I don't know whether that was part of the character or if it was just him having to actually himself be in the wheelchair, but he looked a lot older, a lot frailer, because you think, oh yeah, it has been like 22 years since he's been in the show.
Yeah.
No, not 22. Fucking hell.
12. Yeah, maths.
Yeah, 22. Yes. He was in Eye Sharder with the Paul McGann Flash animation. No,
maybe, who knows?
it was like 12 years ago. Like it's a lot, and you think that, he kind of came into Doctor Who in his late 70s, early 80s, and was full of life, all the stuff. Like, I'm definitely going to crack open some of Series 4 and some of the Confidential and that later on, just to sort of raise a glass to wrongly unknighted should have been Sir Bernard Cribbins. But Connor, your brief touching words, just don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. No, to you, Wilf, my non-alcoholic beverage. I'll leave it at that. I'm driving later. Sorry, mate.
Just before we go on, sorry, I meant to ask this before we started recording, but earlier in the week we also watched another genre sort of king and legend, and I just wanted to shout out to David Warner, who I was lucky enough to meet, and who has kind of touched a little bit of everything that I'm a fan of, because he's been in Star Trek, he's been in Doctor Who, Spider-Man, Batman, so many films, The Omen, or Tron, things like that.
Bloody Tron,
yeah. It was a sad loss to have lost David Warner, but I am pleased to have at least been able to say that I've briefly met him, so R.I.P. to him as well.
Yeah, two big icons of British film and television in the space of, what was it, like a week or so? Something like that? Because I know...
24th of July, so 4 days at the time of recording, yeah.
Because I think a lot of people would just be like, oh, well, that guy that was in that one episode of Doctor Who, no, he's done a lot. Like, go and look. Go and look at David.
He was an Unbound Doctor, man.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
That's how I know him, yeah. Unbound Doctor. The audio Doctor.
Yeah. So, I think...
And he was in Dreamland as the bad guy?
Yeah, he was. He was the bug, wasn't he?
Lord Aslock.
Yeah.
I've got him up. Lord Aslock.
So if you guys at home can do one thing and check out the extended filmographies of both Bernard Cribbins and David Warner, just honour them a little bit in your own way if you can, and discover some new stuff.
Sorry, but David Warner for the Untitled Doctor Who 60th anniversary posthumous release.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. So again, not the last audio of David Warner. So
he recorded something for the 60th for Big Finish.
60th, yeah. But who knows what at the minute?
Who knows, eh? And now that we've been nice and respectful.
It's probably going to be something about the unofficial Doctors, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't
like the Unbound Universe?
Because there's now isn't Colin Baker's like an Unbound War Doctor now?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's a recent change. Yeah. Not that I've kept up, but I see the covers.
I do keep meaning to get into Big Finish, but unlike Nick Briggs, I'm not made of money, so I don't know. Maybe I'll check out. Maybe I'll check out some of the.
We love money.
Big Finish. We love plot holes in continuity. Means we can ship them out as box sets, but they had to shorten it down, so they just said stories.
Kevin's going to copy and paste that from Marvel.
I mean, Kevin will do. Now that we've been nice and respectful, should we say a load of random shit that no one really cares about? So, San Diego Comic-Con is a place where people gather in a room and look in awe as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson floats before them. Definitely not on a wire rig. He's definitely flying by himself. That's all his own work. Yeah, we had some new announcements from both Marvel and DC. Well, we had announcements. We had 2 trailers and stuff. So we'll do the DC stuff first, because there's some Superman stuff within that I kind of want to touch on, Mike. What was your initial thoughts on the first look at Shazam: Fury of the Gods? We've totally gone.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, my dear Nelly.
Nelly?
What do you mean we're gone?
Hello?
Are we gone? Are we gone now?
Hello. Yes, we got... What did you think of the first look at the Shazam: Fury of the Gods trailer?
I don't really know what to think about that one, because it just looks like more of the same kind of thing, and I was expecting a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
It doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong, and I liked the first movie, so yes, I'm here for, child/superhero and the whole family dynamic and everything, and yeah, the jokes will be thick and fast, and yes, it's cool that they've hired older actresses to play villains, Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, and after West Side Story, I'm keen to see Rachel Zegler do something, but yeah, nothing stands out as oh wow, I really can't wait to do that. It just looks like, yeah, it's more of the same.
Yeah, more commercial, more the same, more what worked before, and we're hoping that when the movie comes out, we could be surprised. Something can elevate our expectations, because like you've said, it is pretty much nothing to scream home about. It was a trailer, it happened, it was good, and that's all I can say. Zachary Levi round 2, I'm here for it, but there's nothing to elevate our excitement at the minute.
No.
Yeah, I would get that. I think it's mainly because when you look at what Black Adam is going to be, and then that is very much to esteemed fans or people that just pay attention in life, that they are of the same world, so that's 2 completely different tones. So maybe out of the sorry, go on.
It's not just that though. I mean, even when they were talking about Black Adam, they said that they're using it to kind of stealth go forward with the Justice Society, because the Justice League are so problematic. So it's kind of like a reboot of the universe, and then going ahead with those characters.
Oh yeah, I can see that, and I'm like I've said about Black Adam, I've always been excited for essentially Avengers, but from Loki's point of view film. That's what intrigues me about it. I think we can agree as a collective that the DCEU as a whole is a broken mess to a point where they should just focus on tell individual stories, and maybe in 5 to 6 years' time, maybe do a Justice League film if you can, or crossover here and there. But at the moment, I'm just here for fun, garish Superman man-child gets beaten up by Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because that's inevitably where we're going to go with Shazam 3 / Black Adam 2. It's clearly going to be these guys coming to a head, which I'm here for.
God work. But everybody's trying to make it so that it ends up being Black Adam v Superman. So
at least that's what Dwayne's trying to advocate for, isn't it? He's really trying to get Mr. Cavill on the centre stage and make Zachary Levi a side piece. Or maybe they are just going to recreate the DC animated movies like Superman, Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, and just do that in live action. But, no, 120 minutes.
They just do it in slow motion, take out loads of the frames. The thing is, I'm surprised that the Shazam trailer featured so much footage from Justice League / other films. We saw Ben Affleck Batman.
He did deliberately not show you Ezra Miller's face though. You saw his back. Sorry, their back.
Oh and I think that's for good reason, because they were clearly running away from the police, and they just CGI'd the suit on top.
He lost his visual effects in that shot, hence why it was from the back.
So I would say that it was weird. We saw the back of Ezra Miller, we saw Wonder Woman, we saw Ben Affleck Batman. Ooh. And it's because this is clearly still set within the DCEU, whatever, because whatever.
I don't get, because even that Justice League appeared at the end of Peacemaker, and it's are you going forward with this team, or what are we supposed to think? You know?
Well, it's are you going forward with this team, but then Batman wasn't one of the silhouettes, was he? In Peacemaker.
No, it was. But it was in silhouette. You didn't see Superman or Batman.
No, because I thought there was only 4 of them. Because I thought it was Flash, Aquaman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Yeah, because there was no Batman and no Cyborg.
That's right. There definitely wasn't Cyborg. Yeah.
But now there's Batman, but then no Superman. So what is this post?
What is going on?
Is this post the Flash?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone at DC's right, we're doing this with the Flash movie. How do we make this fit now? And then have taken a big fucking sigh as they fucking cross out their flowchart now that Ezra Miller keeps getting himself arrested and, seemingly letting children just be around guns and drugs and captured in a house.
Is this worse than Sony's attempt at their universe? At this point with DC, every film seems to change its rules.
Do you know what? I think it's tough to, compare actual crime to Morbius. It's close. I think it's very close.
Jesus.
I feel like I was robbed
going there.
I feel like I was robbed when I went in there, but more of my time and my sense of purpose in life for those however long that film was, because I tried rewatching it the other day and I was like, no, this is just wrong. But
no, part of me really wants to rewatch Morbius, and I don't know why.
I think I'd be up for. I would rewatch it, but I would not do it sober.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, out of the two, I'd say Black Adam intrigues me just that bit more. Shazam's probably, if I had to say,
a safe bet, Shazam will probably turn out to be the better overall movie, whereas Black Adam could.
I don't know. I think Black Adam might, because I think Dwayne Johnson, he's. You can say what you want about him. He wears the same shirt in most movies, but he is very committed to what he does because he has got great star power. And he's been signed on for Black Adam for so long.
He's not a dig at Dwayne, but his movies is basically his own genre. You have action movies, you have adventure, and then you have Dwayne Johnson movies.
And some of them are not shit.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because he's been.
I'm gonna advocate for the supporting cast in Black Adam as well, because I think they are better than the supporting cast of Shazam, which is it's got Adam Brody and it's got DJ Couture and whatever among the family. But look at the Justice Society, they've cast Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
Yep.
I mean, he excites me. Yeah.
These are big castings,
They are, and I like that Pierce Brosnan was like, Dr. Fate just found me at the right time in life because I'd got over James Bond and now I just want to do shit basically, and he's like, I'll do it. It sounds like fun.
Egyptian god Moon Knight-esque.
But so I think Black Adam could turn out better. But in terms of my DCU films, I'd say it's a toss up between the Suicide Squad and Shazam. Probably the Suicide Squad, if I rewatched it, would probably just edge it. And then third is Birds of Prey. They're kind of
your order.
That's my top quality in terms of the DCU. I like Aquaman's a fourth, but with a bit of a gap because it had 3-4 different movies in it.
I was gonna say it has multiple movies in it.
I think the thing that holds it together is Jason Momoa's charisma.
Jason Daytona.
But regular human Atlantean, and I would. I'm really looking forward to both films, but I think Black Adam's going to obviously be something different. It's going to be. They're essentially going to be two films that actually link together in the DCEU because there is going to be a story sort of building towards it.
Yeah.
In terms of just like.
Yeah, one of them's going to have a post-credit scene that links to the other one way or the other.
Yes, definitely.
Shazam will be in the post-credit for Black Adam.
No, I think I would wager that Dwayne Johnson would appear in the post-credits of Fury from the Gods, and basically
Shazam 3.
And basically, yeah, Shazam 3.
Revenge of the Gods.
Revenge of the Shazamness. I don't know. What else do we get? Because I don't know if this was at SDCC or just before it, but we got a John Wick 4 trailer.
We did, just randomly out of the blue. Yeah.
Which looked just as sexy as the other three films. I'm
happy with it.
I'm
here for it.
I love John Wick as a franchise that just doesn't seem, at this moment in time, to get worse, have anything bad happen to any of the cast members.
It's a fine wine. It ages better with fine wine.
It ages like Keanu Reeves' face. Magnificently. I forgot the thing that he says in Thingy. Was it,
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
That
Could have said that. Oh, I don't really know. We didn't touch on the Henry Cavill shit, did we? Really?
Of course, there's always one topic we skim over.
So,
he was going to turn up, but he didn't.
Rumor to turn up.
He sold out.
Now,
he sold out.
People will call us like MCU fanboys and shills and whatever. They're paying you to say this. I fucking wish they were, but I love Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like,
I love his name.
Yes, I love his name. I love how he fills out a woolen jumper very nicely. I like how he builds custom PCs.
He builds PCs without a top on.
Yes. Oh, that's the movie we all want. But here is a man who is has become a blockbuster name through through Man of Steel. He clearly loves playing Superman. Wants to play Superman. Has at different points since I think it, like Batman v Superman onwards, has just come to Warner Brothers with different directors and different takes on a different Superman movie, and been turned away each time, and to the point where they're like, they don't know what they want to do with Superman. Well, fucking give him to someone that knows what they want to do. Because
it's doubly frustrating at the minute because they currently are nailing it on television. So it's like, you're the same company. Just look at what the show's doing.
Yeah. We don't know how to make him relevant to modern audiences. It's quite easy. You just find a story, any of those stories, because, Clark Kent trying to be human when, he exists to fight crime and is from this far-off alien world and he feels very much fish out of water. Those are all, apart from the space stuff, very relatable things.
Origin stories,
yes.
Amongst the genre.
The best description I saw on Twitter was just that Superman is a guy whose enemy is basically, I could solve all the world's problems with my billions, but not till you get rid of that immigrant. And that's incredibly relevant right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very relevant. And Henry Cavill is clearly a person that, like, he could have walked away from this a long time ago. And, the whole stuff with, is he done? Is he not done? Meant to be in Shazam. Like, he wanted to be in Shazam, but they couldn't make it work. But I'd argue the gag in Shazam is funnier because you don't see his head. Because otherwise you would have had to stop and have a conversation with him. I love how it just cuts off and it's just the holy shit, and then it just ends. He's said countless times he's not done. He's like, as recently as I think as Graham Norton, when he was talking about The Witcher season 2 or something, was like, the costumes at home, like I'm waiting on my call, like I want it, and at some point he's going to end up being
grey head.
No, I was going to say, like, end up being James Bond and will be too busy to do it. But that's a debate for a different time. I
think Reggie's on page has got the next Bond gig, I reckon.
I haven't seen him in enough stuff, but I think it would be nice because I think Cavill would be, like, I think I've ranked it before because I did a list on Lad Bible or something, and it was like Hardy and Cavill would sort of be what we've had before, and I think someone like. If it was gonna, be lazy and stay white, I think the person I would most like, 3 or 4 years ago, Michael Fassbender would have been perfect. But I would love I'd love like Daniel Kaluuya or like John Boyega to do it, someone like that, just because you know the color of his skin means nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's a fictional character. I think, like we said countless times, don't be lazy and just be like, let's rewrite him as a female. Because just write strong female character. Like you've got an Amazon owned James Bond. Make an Amazon series about other agents, you know, female ones, and then you can have that come. You can have those. Have those like crossover into like the films and stuff. You could make a mini James Bond universe and actually do it well. But that's the thing. That's the thing for a different time.
Yeah.
I just want a decent, because Henry Cavill is such a good Superman, and I think we've seen him on screen for literally like the last 15 minutes of the Justice League.
Man of Steel, Batman v Superman.
I think that's the only time you've seen proper Superman, is like he's laughing, you know, I wish, you know what, I take it back, I wish I was dead, like stuff like that at the end of the original Justice League is like, oh, there's, because he's fun, he's, you know, he is Boy Scout and uptight, but he's not rigid, he's not robotic, he has, you know, like look at how Christopher Reeve played him in the 70s, like that man could flip on it, like the way he would just completely change his stance and his posture from playing Clark Kent to playing Superman.
Yeah.
And the way he played him would still and does still work with today's audiences. There's, you know, I mean...
Yeah. The thing is, you don't even need to go that far back. Just look at either Brandon Routh or Tyler Hoechlin. They have examples that it can work, and yet they're just like, nah, we're not going to give Henry Cavill a chance because it won't work.
Yeah. Well, because he's too OP. But then that's never been a problem. Like you don't just make excuses.
I said this every time it comes up, but if your script is basically about who can Superman beat in a fight, then you've written a bad Superman script. It's not about that.
No, it's about like the inner stuff that he has to deal with.
The inner turmoil. As
like you said, you know, you could solve all the world with your billions, but get rid of that immigrant. It's a very modern. Like there's a lot of that still happening in the world today, and it can still be very relevant to today's audiences, and it should be. Yeah. And I think Warner Brothers are just, they're so blind to what they've got because they want to be like the company next door. They want to be like that. They want that success. They want it, but they don't want to put the hard yards in. And like you said, I think that because a lot of, I'd argued before that DC always did TV better. And I think that's still probably the case. I know that it's more of a basic level of quality on for me anyway, of the Disney Plus stuff for Marvel at the moment. There are a few peaks, but a lot of it is at least, you know, you're getting at least, like with the movies, you're getting at least a 6, 7 out of 10. Like basic.
But,
you know, that's the odd stuff will push it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Set the world on fire though, to be fair.
Not said the word, but I think we've come close, because I think WandaVision for me was like, it was so bonkers and different and everything we needed.
It was great. In
terms of we'd had a year's break, and what you got when you came back was that Falcon and Winter Soldier felt very cut and paste from
a movie
template, like a Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War kind of thing, and it felt like a movie cut up.
They spread it across 6 PowerPoints.
Ironically, one of my favourites was Hawkeye, which took probably the least risks, but it focused more on the character. DC have made good shows. I mean, you know, they've cancelled like near enough all the CW now.
The Arrowverse no more.
But there was a point where I think Arrow was one of the best comic adaptations on screen.
Absolutely.
Like Stephen Amell was a great portrayal of Oliver Queen. John Barrowman was still getting his penis out on set, so you know, make of that what you will.
The Dark Archer, so to speak.
You want to see my Dark Archer?
Jesus.
I will swiftly change the subject. And
yes.
Legends of Tomorrow is one of the best TV shows.
I love Legends of Tomorrow. I mainly started watching it because Arthur Darvill was in it, and then actually I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And all the crossover stuff as well. The crossover stuff worked like, I think Crisis on Infinite Earths achieved everything it needed to, and it even teased stuff like to cut, like the Flash getting in movie universe getting his name from meeting the Flash is such a Flash thing. That's such a thing that would happen to him in the comics, and I loved little details, like I love Brandon Routh as Atom.
Yeah, Atom.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kingdom Come Superman. Like he got to have, and he even got to have like that closure with the Superman character as well. Like it was, like you had, and even Kevin Conroy in live action. You had Tom Welling come back for a bit. Like, the Batgirl show, I think was.
Yeah, I hadn't watched Batgirl, still haven't. Or Black Lightning.
Batwoman, and it was good. You should have watched it.
Yes. I wanted to. Like, I know the whole Ruby Rose shit, and then they created. Was it a completely new incarnation of the character for the show?
It was a whole new character for the show who they've since fed back into the comics. But I think the show got better once you could tell that the tension and everything was there because Ruby Rose just basically didn't come back. And I think it was probably the best thing that could have happened. Which even at the time I was like, no, I'm not having it because it's not Kate Kane and it's not the star of the show and everything. And then Javicia Leslie, who took over, was fantastic. And I was like, well, they were still doing the kind of Batman rogues gallery thing and everything, and they still introduced Batwing at the end of the second season and stuff. So I was like, do you know what? Fine, it's great. It didn't deserve to be cancelled after that third season, but I think it was just a victim of CW being sold and them going, what shows have we got? All the Arrowverse shows? Nah, we only need the Flash.
So is that what it is? Is only the Flash continuing?
And Superman and Lois,
Superman and Lois dictated that they weren't part of that same universe in the end of its second season. So
really?
There you go.
Really?
God, really?
Yeah,
but
don't get me started. I was foaming about that.
I mean, he technically was. He was on Supergirl first. It matters, damn it.
They've tried to claim now because people were getting understandably mad that it was like these things affected the entire world, and it was like, well, why aren't you calling Supergirl the Flash or whatever? So at the end of the second season, there's a quick throwaway line where Lois's father just goes, I've seen other worlds, Clark, and the leagues of heroes that protect them, but all we've got is Superman, and thank heavens for that because he's the best. And I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
Talking about just a quick retcon.
Is that? But why is that? Is that because they just wanted to write over like cover a plot hole, or is that?
Really there is no real way to explain. Like in the second season, without getting too spoilery, they tried to merge like the Bizarro world and Earth, and it's affecting the entire Earth. And people were understandably going like, so why is the Flash like not having to deal with this next door or whatever?
Yeah.
So then they were just like, different universe.
It tried to attempt. It actually it attempts the in-universe, real-life questions we're all thinking as viewers, and rather than give us a good story-driven reason that it expands the universe, they've kind of just gone, fuck it. Oh, we don't know. Yeah, it happened. He ain't part of this no more.
But even then, it's kind of like, it's annoying to me because they're trying to claim that was the plan all along, but it clearly wasn't, because in season 1 they've got Diggle in there, and Diggle appears and goes like, I fought alongside you, Superman, and we lost Oliver, which is clearly a reference to Crisis.
Yeah.
Now they're like, no, it wasn't the same person. Don't worry about it.
That's right. Was he Martian? Well, I say he can't be Martian Manhunter because he was fucking part of that universe as well.
So,
Exactly.
so what's happening with the Flash now?
I think it's 9th season. Is it 10th season? Something like that?
The 7th season was terrible, the 8th season was great, basically, if that's what you wanted to know.
Does he fight another person that runs faster? You got to run faster, Barry. I'm Barry Allen, the fastest Barry Allen.
No.
People are genuinely complaining because they were like, there's now 8 seasons, and in 4 out of those 8 seasons, he's fought Reverse Flash in the finale. I was like, how many times has Batman fought Joker? That's his arch enemy.
Yeah.
Is that show looking like it's coming towards an end, or is that just going to carry on until they just retroactively just make Grant Gustin?
People are convinced season 9 is going to be the end, and even though they haven't said it, I think we're all kind of accepting it, because by now they've lost, they lost in season 7 Tom Cavanagh and Carlos Valdez. Now they've lost Jesse Martin, who's not coming back except for a couple of guest appearances in series 9. So I think series 9 is going to be the last, and they'll use the chance to wrap it all up.
And then actually bookends the Arrowverse, CW-verse, whatever you want to call it, or just use Superman and Lois and just go, no, this was part of all the universes. This is all of the universes.
Yeah.
It's strange because the CW...
Again, they keep making the wrong moves because somebody had asked, well, will you resolve the Legends of Tomorrow cliffhanger, which is the only one that ended on a big cliffhanger? And they were like, no, we don't have time for that. But then they came out a week later and were like, but we will feature that sort of female Green Arrow that's Oliver Queen's kid to wrap up her story. Nobody cares about her fucking story.
Oh, okay.
Give us the Legends.
It's a shame because the CW verse at one point was how you did a shared universe.
Absolutely.
Like, that was
pre-Disney Plus. basically, like Disney Plus kind of had to borrow their template, so to speak. But
definitely.
Yeah, would they? Because they're the arch enemies next door. You wouldn't want to do that, wouldn't you? But no, so to speak, Disney Plus had no choice. They had to sort of adapt their template, so to speak. Whether they ever come clean and admit it, they probably wouldn't. To then do what they did, all still ongoing with Disney Plus. And oh boy, Disney Plus, it sure ain't slowing down, isn't it, fellas? It's not slowing down.
Oh dear. Yes.
It's not slowing down.
So much Marvel to talk about.
Literally, it's kind of like, where do we start? So, should we try and do like
Some sort of an order.
Should we do it like by the phase, and then
by phase,
and then
yeah,
the
yeah,
X
I
the
have the order if you want, yeah.
You got the order? Mike, give us the you be the MC, give us the rundown.
Talk
you
about 2022.
put your Kevin Feige hat on, get your Charlie Cox out, and let's get going.
Let me stick on my Captain Marvel branded cap or whatever. So, I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching all these things come in and making like notes on my phone of what's coming out when and stuff. I have got them all here. The very next thing, just to briefly touch on, because it's not really much, is going to be I Am Groot, the 5 kind of like kids animated cartoons.
Yeah.
Which we got a first trailer for, and that looks fantastic. Like, the animation style looks great.
Yep, the production.
It's like hyper-realistic CG a la Lion King.
Yeah.
So it's fun, considering that it's going to have a main character that doesn't speak. Like, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
Is it 20-minute episodes?
Said that Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper are in it. So.
Oh, yes.
Well, okay, that's something.
So is it going to show him aging up into teenage Groot?
But, well, we never say never.
No, I think it's based at kids. It's basically like Pixar shorts type thing where they're 5 or 6 minutes, but they are based around things that kids can relate to. So it's like Baby Groot takes a bath, Baby Groot goes exploring, Baby Groot brushes his teeth or whatever.
Baby Groot finds out the Tooth Fairy's not real.
You've heard it here first. 3 or 4 of the episodes have just been announced right now. That is what they are.
Baby Groot and the Amazon delivery driver of death.
What?
When's that one out? Sorry.
We're all going to watch that, but it's not really going to. It's not going to do wonders, is it?
When is this one out? Is it? I thought it was August. Something like August.
The next thing out is I Am Groot, and that is next week.
Bloody hell, next week.
Because the week after that is when we start She-Hulk.
Yes,
baby.
Very excited for.
Yeah, baby.
I'm
After
excited
the
since
recent
the
trailer.
second trailer.
Yeah, that second trailer.
I've read a thing on.
Love it.
I read a thing online. I don't know if you heard it as well. That it was due to the compression rate of stuff like YouTube was like it sort of made the C. I don't know if this was them trying to make an excuse, but it made the CGI look worse. Like it will look much better on the streaming platform.
I imagine.
I mean, you can kind of.
It does on Disney Plus because they put the trailer up there to watch on Disney Plus, and when you do, it does look better.
I like the humour. I like that we got some fourth wall breaks.
Yeah.
I like that everyone's getting excited about the thunderclap for the first time since 2008.
Yeah.
I like the cameo at the end, and I like that they cut it off. I like it.
Yeah.
Connor, you missed that the first time, though, didn't you?
No, I saw the cameo, but it just didn't occur to me that it was someone with a cock, maybe someone not with a cock. I don't know. It's just a person. You see their silhouette. You see their like bulge, and you see batons, and that's all I'll tell you.
You see and you see yellow in their suit, which is.
See, I didn't until the image. I just saw a black suit.
Costume.
Yeah.
I just saw a black suit.
Which looks like they've brought back that Daredevil costume and painted it different colour, really, doesn't it?
The classic comic Daredevil yellow. I think that's
Yellow
what.
Yellow and red. Yeah.
But isn't it from the Daredevil Yellow run? Is that what it's called, or is it just they renamed it Daredevil Yellow? I think.
No, it was the one he started off in the comics.
Yeah, because I say that is his OG. That is his OG suit. Yeah, that is his OG. I saw D and I thought that is a nod to his yellow costume. Then I looked at a different image that had the yellow colour on it, and I thought, oh, it is that suit.
And the best thing about Marvel is we get like loads of different suits and suit variations. So he'll end up in the full red if people are pissing and moaning. Do you know what I love?
Yeah,
I'd love if they put him in the Ben Affleck suit.
Oh,
Just for like.
oh boy.
Just for like he gets.
if you're abusing Deadpool, they do that for a laugh.
Yeah. Stole your old Ben Affleck. Oh, what? Oh, I forgot. You're the Cox man. Because this appearance is not really a surprise, because this was kind of teased by Feige when She-Hulk was first announced.
Just by concept,
like, you know,
yeah.
basically with him saying, it being in the world of lawyers, you never know what kind of characters.
Actually feature him in costume, though, because they said that there was rumors he was going to be in Spider-Man, and it was 2 seconds as Matt Murdock, so we were like, oh, okay.
and I'm glad that that's all we got of him.
I think we were all like, oh, it'll just be Murdock in the courtroom, that'll be how they do it.
But that's how we're gonna see him in that, and then we're gonna see him in Echo, because that was confirmed.
Well, yeah.
And then we'll see him in an announcement that we'll talk about in a bit. But the She-Hulk trailer was a lot better. I think Tatiana Maslany is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely
the humor hit a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think people, because I don't know if you felt this, Mike, because I think maybe a bit of fatigue over the last sort of few months, like post Spider-Man, was kind of a bit like, I felt like I was picking and choosing, like, you know, I'll watch what's essential, but then I'll kind of, because like Miss Marvel I kind of saved to watch like as a block at the end. Like I watched the first 2 episodes, like started the third, and I was kind of like, I don't really feel like I need to watch this.
Not tonight.
Which is a shame because Iman Vellani's like fantastic, and the ending of that show like leads it into a place with the sequel that's gonna like be really fun and interesting to see. But like Moon Knight I loved, but like stuff like, I think audience anticipation kind of derailed Doctor Strange for a lot of people. I had a lot more fun with it because I'd lowered my expectations based on everyone pissing and moaning about it, and I just kind of enjoyed it for what it was.
I did on rewatches, but I definitely did.
Again, I heard something about Doctor Strange that said that like it ultimately boils down to it being named badly because you're expecting multiple multiverses and stuff, and it's like if it was just called something like Magic Man versus Evil Witch, you'd be like, this is the greatest film ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that, and I think obviously it's everyone going like off of.
It would have affected the scores, that's for sure.
It's kind of the No Way Home thing of like, you know, well they've done that, so surely that so and so is going to be in it, and so and so is going to be in it. And I think it blew its load with a lot of the trailers. Like I think Captain Carter didn't really need to be in the trailer, that second TV spot or whatever it was. But I think if you'd have,
definitely didn't need to be in the trailer.
But if you'd have saved Patrick Stewart for We Should Tell Him the Truth in the actual film, I think that would have been a No Way Home moment of, oh, like, holy shit,
yeah.
You know, he's a different version, but he's there. Because I think John Krasinski, by default, got the most because it just wasn't really spoiled, even though everyone kind of alluded to it, and there was screenshots that went round the day before, and I saw one of those. But Black Bolt, I think, was the most...
more shocked to see Black Bolt.
Yes. I love Anson. Justice for...
Anson Mount.
Let's actually have an... I think The Inhumans could still work as a film.
Captain
he is, isn't he?
Of
Yes.
course, yeah.
That's a universe. Because didn't Shatner say, was it at SDC that Gene Roddenberry would be like turning in his grave at all the new shows they're making or something like that?
Shatner says anything. Shatner is renowned for being an arsehole, to be perfectly honest with you. Most of the Trek universe will tell you we adore Captain James Kirk, but we can't fucking stand William Shatner. He says anything to be controversial.
Oh. Well,
Classic
we
old
love
man
a bit of controversial.
With hanging testes. Speaking of hanging testes, what's after She-Hulk? Oh, and also we got a new look at like, Abomination and his transforming. That was cool.
Transforming.
The transforming of Emil Blonsky into Abomination. When you saw Abomination actually.
The featurette was really good, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just stoked to get more Tim Roth, really. Especially after Shang-Chi
and the invisible cameo of Nothingness. A little bit. It was actually just a 2-second fight, and then it was, one was like, come on, let's go back to your cell, and then to finally find out that the portal in Shang-Chi was She-Hulk's cell.
That Wong's been breaking him out to make money on the side in illegal fucking...
For whatever reason. As the Sorcerer Supreme, what on earth is he...
It clearly doesn't pay well. And we get a Wong cameo in the new trailer, which was...
Yeah.
It's Wong's world, and we're just living in it.
Phase Wong, literally, Phase Wong.
Definitely. And I loved the featurette because I'm happy to see that Jamila Jamil's still getting work, and she looks good as Titania, and I love that there's references to everything from Frogman to the Wrecking Crew to
I Want Frogman,
magicians of the Marvel U and stuff.
Bloody Frogman.
Like we're gonna get, they've said that we're gonna get so many like people that haven't been introduced yet in the MCU, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
On August 17th, right?
Yeah.
Yep, August 17th.
August 17th, not long now. So, the next next thing after that is in November in terms of Marvel, and that is Black Panther. Wakanda nonsense is this, as I call it, or Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
What nonsense is?
And we got a trailer.
Yeah.
Which was it was very, I don't know about you guys, but I was very kind of emotionally touched by this.
Yeah, it was very heartfelt, regardless of the real
choice of the song, the shots, the mural, which they got translated as like "The King is Forever" or something. There's a post.
But even if you didn't know what happened to Chadwick in real life, I feel like you could have watched the trailer not known, because it doesn't make a point of,
and
unfortunately, our Black Panther is gone. We need a new Black Panther. The film just kind of does.
Unfortunately, it does look like the leaked plot on Reddit might be true.
Well, how's that unfortunate? It's bloody great.
I don't want to know the plot that's been leaked on Reddit.
I didn't read the leaked plot.
I will save it from you. Basically, there's
I think I know vaguely the structure, but I'm pleased to see that there's more to it, because I was like, it's going to deal with the loss of the Black Panther. But I was pleased to see that do with the kind of Atlantis versus Wakanda type stuff. Even though they're not calling it Atlantis.
Yeah, Tolokan or whatever.
Mexican place or something.
Yeah,
Tolokan or something.
Mayan Aztec culture, and the appearance sort of reflects that. They're not just typical finned Little Mermaid people in live action, or copying of Aquaman, for example. Like, they are doing something different with it. They're
I think you'd have got away with it being named Atlantis, because everyone would have been like, look, Aquaman was great. We're getting another Aquaman movie. There could be more than one Atlantis.
Yeah, there is a multiverse, guys. In case you haven't watched
Into the Atlantis verse, and then Milo Thatch and the crew from Atlantis: The Lost Empire turn up as well, and they all fight poachers.
Oh,
maybe. But where do you guys stand on the absence of T'Challa as a character?
Well, where do I stand on... what?
Oh, again. Hello?
Darling.
Hello?
Michael,
I think in the future the Germans will love you.
I can get interference, but I can't...
Hello?
That's better. What are you doing? It's so
Wait, George is putting on a speech... George is putting on a speech and a half, and then it just goes awkwardly silent.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just my laptop is dying. For some reason, the PC doesn't like Restream anyway, so I've got to at some point sort that out. But you're kind of just on the side on a... What
did you hear and what didn't you hear?
Yeah.
What was the last one you heard?
I got to I had mentioned, they're not called Atlantis, and you mentioned the name of it, Talokan or whatever it's called.
Tolokan or some shite.
Tyler Con.
Yeah, Tyler Swift Con.
Swift Con.
Where do you stand, Mike, on the absence of T'Challa as a character?
I think they've done everything they possibly could, because they've been as respectful as possible. They're making it part of the plot. They didn't just do the Terrence Howard recast thing, which would have been really crass.
Yeah.
I think they're doing the right thing by making it a focus of the movie, especially because it makes sense that if you're being invaded and you've just lost your king, your second king in however many years, that is going to be an important weakness,
Well, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I'm kind of two minds about it, because I've seen obviously a lot of people talk about this in terms of T'Challa's such an important character to not just in the comics, but obviously to black culture in general. The strides that first movie made, it's down to the hard work of Chadwick and stuff, but the arguments are that it also doesn't have to end there, and I think a lot of that was based off of Letitia Wright coming out and being anti-vaxxer, saying everything's the work of the devil, and using her platform essentially to be a bit of a twat, and it was kind of well, maybe we should just recast him. But I think what you're saying, but the fact that we know that this saga is leading up to Secret Wars means that they can just recast and everything at that point and just change it whatever they like. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's a new Black Panther from a different Earth or whatever. At the end I get that, but also it's a thing of it's a shame that he's not in it. I think that was the main thing watching that trailer, was I was just gutted that there is no Chadwick Boseman Black Panther in this, but also the kind of the stories that you could, whether they do that or not, going forward, if this is it for T'Challa in this universe, then it's kind of a loss, because as a lot of people said, God forbid, but if Tom Holland dies, they still make Peter Parker Spider-Man. Robert Pattinson dies, you still get Bruce Wayne Batman. Why does it have to be Black Panther that then has to die?
I get that argument. I get that argument.
I think they know what they're doing, and they know that they're leading up to Secret Wars, so it made sense to do this.
Well, they know they're leading up to Secret Wars now.
I mean, they always knew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could do something like that, but also I was kind of when it was who would be the Black Panther. Obviously, everyone was saying Shuri, and we get a glimpse of someone at the end that, we don't see much of them, but from what we see, they seem to have a more feminine physique. Yeah. I was one that collared for. I wanted M'Baku to be both Black Panther and possibly there's a rumor that maybe he would become the ruler and then Shuri would be the Black Panther. I would have liked him to do it. I would really like Nakia to do it.
Rumor that they were going to share the Black Panther, but...
Yes, I like that. Nakia, I would like, because Lupita Nyong'o's fantastic, and the Queen, the King's Queen, would be a fitting successor.
Yeah.
And what was Daniel Kaluuya's character called?
He's not in it.
No, he's not in it. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
scheduling conflicts. He said nope.
Yeah, but
he said nope.
But I think he would have been great. But I think more Winston Duke. We're getting more of Lupita. Yeah. Well done. More Lupita Nyong'o. It's just us here. And I think it's such a strong cast. Very good. Very good. I think it's such a strong cast here. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing bloody Martin Freeman back. See what Everett K. Ross has been up to.
Bilbo Ross.
Bilbo dragging his ball baggins across his face. I'm excited. I'm excited for obviously getting Namor. I think the man that's playing him seems like he's gonna be cracking in the part, and I'd love to see where because Namor outdates Aquaman by 6 or 7 years.
I found out literally he and the original Human Torch, not Chris Evans nor Michael B. Jordan from Fan Stick.
Yes,
the Marvel Comics issue 1. October 1939. They're the first.
It Marvel Comics. It wasn't known as Marvel back then because they go back to the 1930s, pre-Captain America.
Yeah, literally.
Atlas or something. I think Women Torch and Namor.
Yeah.
I'm surprised just by that sort of fact that it's taken them this long to get around to one of the original. But
they became less well known.
Issues because he's technically the first mutant, so they didn't own him.
Yeah. That was true, wasn't it? And obviously the fact that Aquaman happens in real life, so you kind of think, let's not do an Aquaman movie with our Aquaman right now. Let's leave it a bit. And obviously because when Stan Lee then wrote Fantastic Four, he repurposed the Human Torch to put a version of that character into that as well. So it's all he predates a lot of things, but it's nice to, like you say, finally get him.
The original Human Torch has a shit name when you think about it because he's not human.
Very true.
The Alien Torch.
Yes. The Alien You, computer man, fix my pants.
He should be called the Android Torch, if anything.
He should be called the Eye Torch.
Oh,
yes. Apple Eye Torch. Anyway, do you want me to move on to Phase 5 now?
Yes, because guys, that is November 2022.
Yes.
That's it.
There's a couple of quick things in Phase 4 that they didn't talk about.
Yes.
I want to note that are coming out because they are going to do a Halloween special.
Which has got Wolfman by Night in it.
Werewolf by Night.
Wolfman by Night.
Wolfram and Hart.
They haven't really revealed much else. And there will be, even though it is technically the start of Phase 5, there's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, because apparently that leads into Volume 3, and it actually does introduce a lot of important characters in the Marvel universe,
so to speak.
Yeah. We'll get to Volume 3 because there was a lot of news and casting came out about that as well, which...
some exclusive footage that we aren't going to see because we are going to get a different trailer to what people at the convention
because James Gunn said the trailer for Volume 3, it was obviously that it was made for the convention, but there's still stuff that's not how he would like it or how it's going to look in the final film. So there's VFX shots that aren't finished and lots of Yes. So we know the outlook of Phase 4, but we got a full Phase 5 for now because stuff can still chop and change because
Titles
when
can change.
Phase 3 was announced, Inhumans was in it and Spider-Man was not.
Right.
And so don't be surprised if that kind of dots around a little. I don't expect it to change majorly, but I think there was some stuff maybe added or changed a little bit. But we got a full rundown of Phase 5.
A lot of stuff has vague dates like spring,
Yes.
summer,
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to that, and there's 7 that have been announced that haven't got been given an actual date and title yet, or whatever it was on the track, like the thingy sheet.
Gaps, but they're probably going to be revealed at D23, so we'll see.
Yeah, or invested. Oh yeah, we're going to get a lot more shit for the rest of the year and into next year, obviously, because they plant the flags and place in later. But obviously, they registered a lot of trademarks before SDCC, and some of them turned out to be true. So
very true.
I think I think all of them will probably end up.
Video games and shit, though. You know?
Yeah, but lead us into yonder phase. It feels weird to say Phase 5 and 6. We kind of know what's happening.
so soon.
I know, right? The official start of Phase 5 will be in, let's see, February the 17th next year. And that will be Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Well, really, the true beginning, arguably, of this multiverse saga. I mean, Low-Key Season 1, and maybe No Way Home, and then whatever happened in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, was it really that mad? Not at the minute. But when we get to Quantumania, things are going to ramp up to 10, as the world's smallest hero is going to go up against the world's biggest time-travelling conqueror. And no, it's not the Master, it's not the Rani, it's not bloody Omega. His name is Kang the Conqueror.
I feel like you're at WrestleMania.
It's Quantumania!
The poster?
Yeah, or
No, there was a brief clip where it's basically Ant-Man meeting Kang, and they're revealing that it isn't a variant, it is him, because Ant-Man basically says, "Oh, don't mess with me, I'm an Avenger," and then Kang just looks at him and goes, "I'm a conqueror." Like,
and apparently
I thought I've read something like I've killed an Avenger before.
No, it's like, have I killed you before or something like that?
Yeah,
stuff like
I've killed Avengers before.
Yeah, so it's amazing that we're getting the cap off of this Ant-Man trilogy, and I hope it doesn't mean the end for Paul Rudd as Scott Lang for a very long time yet, because he is one of the joys of this universe.
Avengers, they're probably going to turn up in those movies, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully, and it's like Kevin Feige said, it's nice to finally give this saga a name, and to know that this is all building towards being. It's on Jonathan Majors' shoulders, and
he's
from what he's done so far with He Who Remains, I'm confident.
Jonathan Majors' shoulders and whoever they cast as Doctor Doom, in my opinion, but that's a different argument.
Well,
Doctor Doom very much going to be a secondary antagonist in terms of the overall.
Not if they're doing Secret Wars.
Yeah, no, he's going to become a big player.
Well, no, because the rumor is that he's going to be in it, but it's still going to be he's still second fiddle to Kang, and until Kang is defeated, I assume then Doctor Doom will take up the power vacuum.
I think the opposite, because that's the whole point in why the first one's called the Kang Dynasty, because that is basically them dealing with Kang, and then Secret Wars is Emperor Doom who takes over the multiverse or whatever.
Oh, is that how you?
Could be wrong. This is all rumor.
I was going to say, this is how you feel. Kang Dynasty is just going to be Kang's movie, and then Secret Wars is going to be a la Doom movie.
Or I think it'd be,
okay.
But I'd love Doom to sort of be in a bit more than just, end up in Secret Wars. Because I think a villain like him deserves to be...
If the rumours are true, Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
At the earliest.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Post-credits, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
There's...
whether or not that'll be forced,
stuff
or
that
there
I've
will
read
be
and
things in
heard
it.
about that.
Whether or not there will actually be things in it that will feel earned, or it will just be a random dun-dun-dun post-credit.
Because he's such a big Marvel villain in general, and he kind of should be, recurring a la Loki was in the first, 2 phases, really. He should kind of be...
On that level,
know, but not like a dastardly, pretend, but I betrayed you, but sort of like a... He should feel like Delgado did. I've got this plan, I'm going to take over. Oh, fuck, it's gone wrong. Please, I'm begging you, don't kill me. I'm back again, I'm going to fuck you up this time.
I can see them doing something like that, because I can see them doing it that he's the one who ultimately helps to defeat Kang, and they're kind of like, oh, we may have misjudged you, we've got you wrong. And then, as I said, by Secret Wars, it's like, no, you didn't, I just wanted the power.
Yeah. and I've got my secret weapon, and you think you've got your cock. Well, here's my Galactus cock, and Galactus is going to be Doom's secret weapon. Silver cock.
Big penis planet cock.
Planet smashing.
Planet penis cock man.
Wow.
Planet penis cock man. Coming 2026.
Twiddle your wire or whatever you do to clear it up.
Twiddly, twiddly, twiddly,
Hello.
twiddly. Hello.
Mute and unmute. All right.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Yes.
Can I ask one last question about Man in the Wasp then? What are you guys' thoughts on Catherine Newton taking over as Cassie Lang? And now we know from the posters she will be either Stature or Stinger in costume. So.
Yes, because I think it's still pretty shitty how they
Just
how
replaced.
they replaced her, but I forget what her name is that played her in Avengers Endgame, but
I always get her confused with the little girl, but yeah, the actress who played her in Endgame was very shafted.
yes, but basically found out, I think it was Investor Day or whatever when they announced it, and were like, and so is now taking over as Cassie Lang. That was a bit shitty.
It was Emma Thurman in Avengers Endgame, and it will be portrayed by Catherine Newton in Quantumania.
Yeah.
Emma Thurman. Poor Emma
I
Thurman.
think at the end of the day, it's a character that the best portrayal has been in the first two movies. Let's be real. I look forward to that. I just hope it leads at some point to the rumoured, Young Avengers that they may or may not have trademarked down the line.
They didn't announce that because they've introduced every one of that team.
They have.
One of the unannounced things, surely.
Well, in the gaps between a certain other movie and then when we eventually get to Secret Wars, like there's a load of gaps.
I wouldn't put 3 movies with the Avengers title in one phase.
No, exactly. No, of course not.
Even if it is just Young Avengers.
2 is a
or
bloody
as they rumoured
treat. 2 is a bloody treat.
Avengers Academy, as it's rumoured to be called, which sounds a bit High School Musical, but
it does.
Avengers Academy. I think I like them 3. Like it works. Like Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and like Catherine Newton. Like, I think it's gonna work because it'll be, dare I say it, a Fantastic Four test run in terms of a family superhero dynamic.
Perhaps.
Because Korg has definitely been a practice run for the Thing.
Yeah.
In terms of CGI and rocks.
Sure.
So I wouldn't be surprised because Peyton Reed has heavily been lobbied for a Fantastic Four movie since the early 2000s, and I think if you've chosen one of your recurring directors to direct the Avengers film, maybe you choose a safe pair of hands for the Fantastic Four film. That I think Peyton Reed could do a good job on that, possibly.
I still think they give it to John Krasinski, and that's how he basically went in for the cameo, to be honest.
What, he was like, I'll only do it if you let me direct it.
Yeah.
Because he's not... Yeah.
And I think that's how they probably got... Because to go to his agent and be like, do you want to role in this movie, even if it's a Marvel movie for 2 minutes?
Be like, yeah, sure.
Not appealing, but if they went and said, would you like to direct Fantastic Four? You can be Mr. Fantastic
Have we...
next week. It could be like, alright, okay.
Have we not watched Jim Halpert in The Office? John Krasinski's a very smart man.
Very.
He's in the sales industry. He knows how knows.
But a name that I've heard that I'm not against, especially with her work in Star Wars, Bryce Dallas Howard, I think could do a good job.
Yeah, Deborah Chow for that matter, after doing Obi-Wan would be.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
You can have Owen McGregor in it as well. Just talking like this. Hello there.
Clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
Actually, now you say that, Ewan McGregor, Mr. Fantastic, I don't hate.
I don't hate that.
But I think, for me, it's between, like, Krasinski's obviously the dream, and, like, they've said, I don't know if, Mike, you've watched the assembled documentary for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness yet, but they talk about that, it's a thing the fans wanted to see, so that's kind of why we did it. Like, it might not... Because our thing was, like, everyone in that room... bar Patrick Stewart, was like they're played by their MCU counterpart, like same actors. Yeah. So does that mean that in our universe he'll still be played by John Krasinski? Because that would be fun. But also I think Penn Badgley could still do a really good job. Old Henry Goldberg from is that Henry Goldberg? Yeah,
from You. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. That's a different phase. It's a different phase of our lives, Mason.
Yeah, speaking of things that are going to have a massive impact, in spring, immediately following Ant-Man and the Wasp, Secret Invasion comes, and they made it a TV show? What's that about?
And again, 6 episodes? It's still 6 episodes? Is that enough to cover one of the biggest modern comics? Is that enough?
I don't think the story will be done entire. Like, I think it's going to be... It will start off, but then hopefully it will bleed into
other things.
The rest of that phase, if not, like, something that sets it up for...
Because they've confirmed it is going to do the comic thing of... We'll reveal that at least 1 or 2 of the heroes have been Skrulls the whole time.
But I mean...
People are speculating who, but it's going to affect... things going forward, isn't it?
That's the thing. Has Marvel not paid attention to their universe? It can't just be 1 or 2 characters. It's going to have to be like, not to name the whole roster, but it's going to have to be like a substantial amount of people. But I don't want every 5 minutes to be, oh, you thought Doctor Strange is real, but you want so and so to be real. Oh, look, we brought Maria Hill back. Oh, but she's obviously not real. Like, I don't want that every episode. But again, like as soon as episode 6 finishes, it's going to change not just Phase 5 or 6 or whatever they do with Avengers Secret Invasion Wars. But it's going to stay with the MCU for however long this thing lasts, surely.
It's got
and it's going to change...
But the fact that they're throwing in such minor characters that it's blatantly just going to end up being, oh, Maria Hill and Everett Ross were Skrull, and maybe Nick Fury is, and it's not going to be like, oh, War Machine and Doctor Strange were Skrulls.
Maybe it's War Machine and that's why they keep pushing Armor Wars back.
Right. Right, I mean, I don't hate that idea. I just feel bad for Cheadle.
One thing we didn't mention, Mike, though, briefly about Ant-Man and the Wasp, was that it's rumoured to actually have the first MCU appearance of Modok.
It does, they actually revealed... there was a clip of it, it wasn't just a rumour, because they are using... This is really weird, but they're having it be played by... The guy who was Yellow Jacket in the first movie.
Corey Stoll. Corey Stoll.
For him looking that way is that he was kind of crushed into a weird kind of head thing. Which,
That's strange, because I think it would have been nice to just have it be Patton Oswalt from the TV show universe, but that would Or when it was, rumoured for months that it was going to be Jim Carrey.
I mean, that would have been a face. That would have been a face.
It was Corey Stoll, but they did also... The other thing I forgot to mention that was revealed was that Bill Murray's going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but they haven't said who he's playing. So
well,
he would have been a fun Modok.
Well, it's Krylar is the name I keep reading. I don't know, again, if that's rumoured or they confirmed it at the convention, but it's Krylar? Something Krylar? Krylar? I don't know.
Anything to me.
It's just a name. I don't know.
Me. If you say it enough, someone will know what it means. Yes, those things. Sorry, carry on with Secret Invasion, because... was that what we were on? Secret Invasion?
Yeah, we were on Secret Invasion still, and it's short run time.
It's got a good cast because they've cast like Emilia Clarke and Olivia Colman are coming in to do stuff, but it just seems like they've really downplayed what was a huge thing in the comics,
Unless that episode 1 is going to be like game changer, it's really going to just right from the get go. The first scene is going to be a what the fuck type twist, and then they've somehow got to keep that through the runtime, through the 6 episodes. If it's more spaced out, you can then have a dud.
How are they gonna match the moment in the comic? I think it was at the end of issue 1 or 2 where it's just like a spaceship lands and then like 2 dozen actual heroes walk out and it's like we were on the Skrull homeworld the whole time and it just drops like, oh shit.
I'm excited. I want Samuel L. Jackson back. I want to know why he's grown a fucking beard in space. I want to know these answers, but again, like just by the runtime, I can't.
He's got an extra eye back as well.
Oh yeah, more importantly, the fucking eye. See his visual effects on his eye, but like, how is it going to actually change if they're so focused on Kang and the Secret Wars and the multiverse? How is a bunch of aliens in a short series going to change?
And is it going to also link back to fighting? At the end, they have to. They end up fighting the Super Skrull, and giving Nick Fury has to give the weapon to Deadpool because they'll never believe that they gave it to him or whatever. And then are they going to tie in Norman Osborn using it to then destroy the Super Skrull and claiming victory and building the Dark Avengers and slowly being an evil bastard with cornrows?
Which is coming,
so much.
Jumping way ahead, but Thunderbolts.
I'm glad that we got some clarity on where this is going, but I think it raises a lot of questions as well. Like, does this all cohesively fit in together? Is it going to get enough time?
Is this quantity over quality at this point?
I think that's a fair enough question. But I think that's a full-on debate for later on down the line. Sorry, Michael. Next. After
the next thing on May the 5th of next year is finally Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Hey,
hey, we
where's this
saved your
film
fucking
been?
movie. Way, pasty.
Imagine if we get a credit.
I was already on board for this film, but I don't love that it's been confirmed as the end and it's going to be emotional and sad. I'm not going to have to deal with being Baby Rocket being used into whatever he becomes and stuff. But I do love the Guardians movies in general.
They are.
James Gunn has brought Chuck Iwuji over from Peacemaker to play the High Evolutionary.
Yep.
And he's got
Great.
Maria Bakalova, who was Borat's daughter, to voice Cosmo the Space Dog.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Cosmo finally gets a voice.
Bloody amazing.
Obviously,
Good
we
stuff.
get Will
stuff.
Poulter portraying Adam Warlock in this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we got a first. There was a first look at that, wasn't there, in the footage?
Yeah, but we didn't see it. But yeah, apparently they did see Adam Warlock in the footage. But...
I am excited. I think because this film would have been out yonks ago. Like, had COVID not happened, and obviously the firing that we specifically reversed.
Of course, we saved. Yeah, we reversed.
Check out episode 3 of this podcast.
Yeah, we saved.
Kevin Feige definitely watched that and went, "I can't do that to these people."
They will have their movie. God damn it!
But I love. What Guardians do you think are going to die? Because I think it's. I think Rocket. I don't.
The thing is, they've already kind of said that, like, the characters that won't come back are the ones that are there in live action. Like, you might have Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel pop back up for voice roles, but Star-Lord, Gamora, and Drax, and Mantis, and Nebula, they're all fair game to be just killed off.
Not Sean Gunn? Well, so Sean Gunn's the only one that's going to survive. Is
Kraglin,
that your early prediction?
Well,
Kragling will live.
Live action, like I said, but,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the only other plot information that we have is that Gamora's leading the Ravagers now, because of course she's the one that didn't know Peter. It came from the alternate timeline in Endgame.
Yeah, pre-2014. Well. Yeah. Pre-2014, not real Gamora, yet Star-Lord is still going to pine over her. But yeah, it's going to be weird, interesting and weird to see how that dynamic plays out.
And obviously they won't, leave the Guardians in a place where that it's never going to... Like, they'll leave it in a place where it can come back in a few years' time. Yeah. Because they can just do a different roster or, throw some characters in space or whatever. Because if it makes enough money, Disney will do it.
If you're asking me who's getting killed off, I think personally my money's on Drax, because Batista's already said, like, he's exhausted, he doesn't want to do it anymore. True. Certainly he can't have his shirt off anymore at his age, so I think...
Poor guy.
Yeah, because, he said he said he's got however many years left of doing action movies to get him in for or whatever.
Shame. I love Batista.
I don't think they would kill Gamora. Like, I feel like anyone that's already been killed off or so I don't think they would kill off Groot because we've seen him disappear. And we've had him. We've had him destroyed by the ship. I don't know. I feel like Rocket would be. For me, I think Rocket would be the most emotional one out of all of them because we've kind of grown with him and learned a lot about him. Like, you see the suggestions of him being an animal that was abused and turned into I never asked to be made and all that kind of stuff, and the emotional journey and connection he has, and he's the emotional pivot for Thor and really sort of brings him around in Infinity War and gets him back in the game. So I think it would be a lot more of a loss for him, and then it would it would free up a lot more money because if you're not playing Bradley Cooper a bit, but yeah, I think him, Star-Lord, I think's a higher percentage.
He's fine.
Yeah, I don't think Gamora. I don't think Nebula will.
Bring him back in, but they're not going to kill off
I
Star-Lord.
I don't know. I think obviously, like leading man, maybe that's a thing that James Gunn might think of. Like, you won't expect this, and just stab Chris Pratt in the face.
Nobody's going to be especially sad about the loss of Chris Pratt, though, are they?
Oh no! I mean, his church might, but I would say I don't think Nebula will, because Karen Gillan posted about I don't really know if this is it or not, but if it is, it's been fun. If it's not, I'll come back whenever they need me, kind of thing. So I feel because she's been one of the outstanding performers in everything she's been in terms of her arc has been great. Mantis, it'd be nice to see her do stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's got more to do as the films have moved on,
I mean...
So she was in Guardians 2.
Yeah.
She did a. She was there.
Mantis, look out!
She was there in Endgame. She was there in Infinity
She didn't
War.
say anything. She didn't say anything. She had no lines in Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
No, well, nobody did in Thor: Love and Thunder. That was a fair cameo, just because they had to explain why he'd left the Guardians or whatever.
Yeah, which I did really appreciate.
She was central to Endgame, and she's pretty good in What If as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
Hopefully
Fair
we get
enough.
more Pom Clementine because she deserves a bit more. And she was in the Suicide Squad, wasn't she? As the stripper at the club where Peter Capaldi hangs out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even on set. That was just like in the breaks.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi going to a strip club.
Yeah, with his big bulbous sweating head. Tell me, Clara,
Am I a good
have
man?
I got enough money to throw at this woman's ass?
Jesus.
Yeah, Guardians.
good
I think
man?
we can all unanimously agree. Very excited.
Absolutely. The next thing after Guardians is very appropriate to the audio issues that I'm hearing, is it's a show that's called Echo, which there's not really a lot to say about that other than it's a spin-off of Hawkeye. It's probably going to have Matt Murdock and Kingpin in it.
They are confirmed.
Kingpin's been confirmed.
Charlie Cox has been confirmed, I think, since.
Well, last year.
And so has whoever plays Vanessa is rumoured to be in.
Oh, right.
She's
Zura, who was in Man of Steel.
yeah, who is she's great, yeah, and yeah, she's going to be in the other project maybe as well.
Yeah, the
but,
other one.
She's rumoured to sort of be back in this. When it gets to all the Matt Murdock stuff, I've got a nice fan theory that I saw online that I want to share with you, gentlemen. But yeah, I like to like Cox in Hawkeye. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Deaf, prosthetic leg, and she's doing all those stunts herself. That's insane. And
she's actually deaf, which is weird.
yeah, and she's emoting so much as well, like having to act against that when you can't hear what your line or the cue is.
Yeah,
but still emoting so much from your face and in your body language. I think is great. Is it ruining the cliffhanger for the Kingpin? But they were never going to just kill off the Kingpin.
No,
like that.
Sure.
If this in the comics though,
but that's the thing. It's comic books.
It's kind of pointing at the eye. I was like, well, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
No.
It's it left it in a place where obviously he's going to come back, but also they could have just been ballsy and gone, we pulled him back and now he's dead. But I think Echo's going to be the bridge between Hawkeye, She-Hulk, and another street level hero that
someone that may be born again,
maybe, or again they are yellow and have their cocks out. That just says summer, doesn't it?
But still a show. I think Hawkeye was great. Alakwa Cox is amazing, and I do think a show though, from a character point of view, considering we still are a bit disjointed as to where everything was going, I'm surprised it's happening now.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. Give me the Marvel Legends figure now.
There's been loads of Marvel figures.
So the other rumor about the Murdoch appearances is that in a couple of the shows he's in, he's going to be hunting for Jessica Jones, which presumably means we'll eventually get her back as well.
Yeah, because there's a rumor that Kristen Ritter will appear in Echo, because she's apparently been seen in a Jessica Jones-esque costume, and obviously with the name change on Disney Plus, we can assume that there will be a TV show. They're going to do something with
the character, yeah.
While we're on the old Netflix train, there is rumour that at D23 they will announce a continuation / reimagining a la what we've got, for the character coming up, for John Bernthal to reprise the role of Frank Castle / the Punisher.
The newest rumour today is that he's actually going to appear in the Born Again series.
Said project, that was but that's that. Without reading into that, I think that's my gut feeling. Considering the runtime, what the hell are they going to do for that amount of episodes? A little bit.
18 episodes,
yeah. I think I don't know if you're the same, Mike, but for us it was obviously the top three are Ritter, Cox, and Bernthal. But if you're going to get those three back, then you kind of have to get Mike Coulter, and because I think Finn Jones with a decent.
No, the way it ended, you just bring back what's her name from Game of Thrones? What's her name? Jessica Henwick.
I think Finn Jones with a decent script and people that actually care about making an Iron Fist show, would actually get him. So because if Anson Mount can get some reprieve, then I think he'd can.
And the behind the scenes things to blame in his case, though, it was that apparently he was such a diva that they were like, you need to train, and he was like, no, I'm not doing that. So
well, he either steps in line or he fucks off, really, then, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
He's got to get with the groove.
But Mike Coulter definitely, because him as Luke Cage, love.
Yeah.
But and I think that, you know, maybe there is some reprieve for Finn Jones. If not, then, you know, we'll find someone else that's actually good. But I digress, because that's Echo is just down for summer, isn't it? It's not got a specific release date yet.
2023, yeah. But speaking of summer 2023, also after Echo, is the date for Loki season 2.
Yes.
Yes.
We've seen us filming, and
They go to a
Yeah.
McDonald's.
They actually time travel for more than 10 minutes in an episode, maybe?
Do you think that we're going to get a lot more Jonathan Majors in Loki between, like, in terms of, like, you're going to see him in Quantum... You're going to see him in Quantumania.
Yeah.
You're going to see him, obviously, in Kang Dynasty. You're going to probably see him in a few more places, but
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to then...
Let's play Guess the
at
Pit
least,
Stop.
at least play into the variant side of it a bit more in Loki, because that's probably where it would make the most sense.
But then the questioning with the variants, do you just keep Jonathan Majors as the only
Yes.
physical model, or do
Yes.
you just No, because Kang is different people
Yes.
of colour, race, whatever. You could just guess the audience and just say, is this character who you think he is? No, he's a variant. Nathaniel Richards is a Fantastic Four. It's not who you think it is. You know, do you play that game of recasting him? Or
I
what?
think you make it the most different from Thanos. You make the same guy play low, because I think the fun thing that I thought of when, you know, it was like Kang was being set up for the big bad, which we now know to be true, is that Thanos was seeded and barely seen really in terms of like the first
How he
three
was,
phases. But you know, it would be fun to sort of do it as just each different version of Kang that comes and gets defeated, then learns a different thing, takes that with them, and then, you know, uses that for the next
they're not
variant.
Bad guys either. That's the thing.
Yep.
The fact of using Kang means that you've got access to Kang the Conqueror and He Who Remains that we've seen, but you've also got like Iron Lad, Immortus, Nathaniel Richards, as you mentioned, and whatever the Ramatut or whatever the Pharaoh version of him is called. But
Yeah,
there's
Ramatut.
lots of things you can play with.
Yeah, I think we're going to see all of that, and it's going to give it range and make it a much more compelling, like, villain arc, really.
All in all,
instead of just grumpy man sits on chair.
Yeah, sit on rock. I click my fingers. You're all dead.
But I did like Loki. I think it's a lot of people have kind of been annoyed by the fact that it ends with just three fabulous actors sitting down and having a conversation, which I think is so well done in terms of, like, you know, crossing the threshold, and it did change the outlook, at least for these next like couple of phases, for good.
Yeah.
And I look forward to what Tom Hiddleston does, because I like that our Loki is definitively dead. This is a different one that kind of got all of his backstory,
presumably
has
in
sort
Valhalla.
of changed a bit, but now as you know, he's on his own journey, his own path. Rumours are that Chris Hemsworth will cameo as a version of Thor.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
But not
He
necessarily.
did voice the Thor frog briefly in season 1.
So the
did,
frog's
yeah.
going to talk. So no, hang on. Get this: Frogman in She-Hulk and Thor Frog. Are they going to do something with that?
Yeah, but Throg or Frog Thor. Two completely different. Is it,
And Frogman.
Is it Thor as a
You're
frog,
forgetting the
or do you
trio.
want the
And
frog that
Frogman-
becomes Thor?
Frogman is Thor in a mask. It's Chris Hemsworth in a mask.
It's just, but not as Thor. It's just Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a fan.
It's just me, mate. I'm jumping really high. Look at my shoes.
Look, it's Tatiana. Hey.
Yeah, but apparently, like, not the one that we're most up to date with. Presumably, maybe like Chris Hemsworth playing an earlier version of himself, or possibly a variant. Maybe
Imagine the dynamic. Imagine
We need
the
to, like, roast for Loki and stuff.
imagine the dynamic of like Thor being the cocky brother. I mean, all right, we got that episode in What If where it was sort of party douchebag Thor, but then you have Loki, this mature, not our OG Loki, but the one that, like George said, is gone on his own journey. He's changing and growing as a person, and you have the brother role reversed. So Loki's like the mentor, while Thor is the arrogant shit, so to speak, for a episode or something. You know, maybe it'd just be a good role reversal, maybe. Script flip.
Fair enough.
What?
I think there's a lot, I think, with a show like Loki in season 2. Although I didn't love season 1, I loved all the sort of individual parts, so I'm excited to see Owen Wilson and what's her name?
Sophia Di Martino. Sophia Di Martino, yeah.
and Gugu Mbatha-Raw again as, and again I can't remember the character name, but you know, Ravenna something.
Ravenna Renslayer.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Ravenclaw. Bloody Ravenclaw.
Renslayer or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ravenna Renslayer, who is
yeah.
the lover of Kang in some, iteration. So that would be interesting. So, but what we know about that is, more importantly, is that Miss Minutes is confirmed to return. So that's good news.
Thank fuck. There you go. The MCU's back, baby. There you go.
The biggest jump scare.
Yeah, exactly. But how many jump scares? That's the question. She's back, but imagine Loki season 2.
Strong loves that character. She's beaten so many cool characters, and yet she's just as obsessed with Miss Minutes.
Yeah. Bloody hell, man. Miss Minutes, man.
What is thy next bidding?
The next thing, ironically, is the thing that we've seen the build up to most recently. So in July 28th, 2023, we're getting The Marvels. And we'll finally find out where Kamala went, and have Carol interact with her now supportive family, and see Monica again, and have Journey Blue from Doctor Who as the bad guy, and that's pretty much all I can tell you.
Who's the baddie?
You know, Journey. Zoe Ashton.
Yeah, right. Tom Hiddleston's lover in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. She's the villain.
Yeah.
I knew she was in it, but I forgot who she was. But okay, she's the villain. Fair enough.
Yeah, we don't know which villain, but yeah.
A
Any
villain.
other thoughts on the Marvels?
I love Monica Rambeau's appearance in
WandaVision. Wanda Marvel.
I can't wait to see what Tiana Paris does with that character now, like where she's at, because last time we saw her, she had to go up to space to meet the big guy or whoever it was.
Secret Invasion comes before the Marvels, so maybe she'll appear there first.
Yeah,
maybe
that would seem like a natural point of progression.
Good shout.
I love Iman Vellani as Kamala
Miss
Khan.
Marvel. Yeah,
she's amazing. Like the wrap up to that story was nice, and obviously the treat that they've been swapped. So Carol's essentially going to have to go and be like, "Oh shit, there's this girl in space. I've got to go and
find her."
Yeah, she was.
I'm in this missing girl.
They have confirmed that the Miss Marvel cast who play her family are all going to be in the movie. So as I say, I think
they'll
pick up straight after that kind of post-credit cliffhanger. If Miss Marvel, and it will just be Carol going, "Oh, where am I? Whose house am I in?" And oh no, well, you have to help us find our daughter. And whatever.
Yeah. Why? Who are you?
I only apologise for that accent.
No, it'd be like, who are you playing dress up? Like, what have you done? What have you done with my daughter? That'll be the first scene. It'll be like, what have you done with my daughter? Why are you dressed up in this ridiculous costume? But then they'll go, oh wait, I remember you. You're my daughter's favourite hero. You're the captain of the Marvel Enterprise. You are Captain Marvel yourself.
The Marvel Enterprise.
Yeah. So, in my verdict, 2 out of the 3 Marvel characters to feature in the movie, Teyonah Parris and Iman Vellani, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, I'm totally on board for. Captain Marvel, this is her chance to shine.
Yeah, hopefully it gives Brie Larson
I
something.
love Captain Marvel, and I love Brie Larson. I'm one of the rare ones that just haven't.
Oh, okay.
For that.
But then I'm also excited for
I had a big argument. I had an argument with my little brother because he keeps on complaining about how Marvel are doing like cheesy stuff. And the biggest rumor that came out about the Marvels was that Brie Larson would have a song. And he was like, "Oh, see, it's terrible." And I was like, "I would remind you that Brie Larson had an awesome song in Scott Pilgrim." So it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
But I'm also excited for Nia DaCosta, the director, who made last year's Candyman. Just from a cinematic point of view, like I'm really hoping this film is going to not just look the bollocks, but like I'm hoping there's just going to be some cool creative shots in it.
Look at my bollocks. I'm Kevin Feige.
Yeah. And yeah,
Nia
DaCosta excites me. I mean, it wasn't one of last year's riveting films, but just from a cinematic visual experience, it definitely was a positive and a huge highlight for Candyman. And the fact that they've got that to a Marvel film, subtitled The Marvels, is it going to be a visual marvel? I'm excited from that aspect. I just thought it's something to mention.
Well, there you go. Speaking of names that are appropriate, will Blade feature a blade? I wonder. That is the next long-awaited thing to come in November the
3rd.
I believe, next year.
Are you sure you want to watch this, Mr. Wilson?
We just missed Halloween.
Oh yeah, but I'm excited. I love Mahershala Ali.
The thing that you have to ask yourself is, are some motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill?
If he says that, like unironically, best movie of all time. 110%. Make Wesley Snipes fucking Whistler. do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested to see what the direction is, like where we're going. Is it gonna have Kit Harington in it?
Yeah, I know that is a
Because
question.
that's the last, that's the first time we heard him.
Oh no.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keeps going with interference, but there you go. That's better.
I think like is Dane Whitman gonna be in it? Oh, it's me, Jon Snow. Oh, my wife Rose Leslie couldn't be in this film. I got me magic sword, and
I'm gonna kick some ass.
Yeah. Kit Harington. Yeah, thanks for coming back, man. Please get out.
Please for coming back, Batman.
Oh yeah, I love the movie films I'm in with the magic swords. Sometimes they break ice. Sometimes they go all wiggly like gooey and go ooh.
What is that? Ooh. Exactly. No, he says they go wiggly like ooh.
That's Kit Harington. That's Kit Harington in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what he's like behind the scenes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Listeners of previous episodes will rejoice at the return of Kit Harington.
Our Kit from Universe. Pasty 123. PST 1234. Yeah, Pasty 123. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go away now. Oh, I can't. I wanted to say, I really love podcast with my wife Rose Leslie. We talk about different types of frosties, and they make lovely cupcakes. I'm going now. Bye bye.
Why does it sound like what's his name, Alan Gento?
I don't know what's wrong with his voice. Maybe he's a bit ill.
You can't just Kit like that.
He's just shot. He's just been in Blade. Maybe I don't know.
Easy pressure to not talk about it.
The only other thing I can mention about Blade is that I just hope it's going to be not like childish and maybe R-rated.
MCU-ified, yeah.
Yeah, please. I mean, just as Deadpool can't really be neutered by its rating, the same can be said for Blade, because you remember in the Spider-Man 90s animated cartoon when Punisher's in it, but he just fires lasers. And how Morbius is in it, but he only wants plasma. And it's like, because he doesn't drink blood.
Through these things on my hands, even
Yes.
though I have fat.
Henry Hoover's.
I draw out your plasma through my hands, and one day I will be Jared Leto and the internet will hate me.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Why is he being played by the dude from What We Do in the Shadows in your mind?
Everyone is played by the dude from What We Do in the Shadows.
It is
I don't give a
norm.
Guys.
I don't give a fuck. His name was Mike.
Listen here, Blade. You come round here with that fucking steak, I'll shove it right up your arse, huh?
Oh my god! Can Matt Berry either be Whistler or the villain of? Can he be Dracula? Can he be MCU Dracula? Because
it's Anthony Starr.
Yeah, but he's in negotiation. We can change it.
We're changing it.
Because I don't know if you've before when we talked about it, Mike. We talked about how we wanted, it's ruined now by Thor: Love and Thunder, but we wanted big fat gay bisexual space Hercules. So we wanted Jack Black or Matt Berry. And that I think would have been just.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, let's have him be Dracula. I came all the way here from Transylvania.
Yeah. I came here to chew vampire ass and beat the fuck out of you, and I'm pissed.
Blade, that's enough. Shit's gonna hit the wind.
Yeah. If I don't like the cut of your fangs, Blade, shit's gonna hit the wind. Get your hands off me.
Your mother, right? Well,
please dress up as my sexy dead Guillermo.
Oh, we've just lost the R.
Blade, but I thought you were dead.
We've just lost the R rating, goddammit.
Oh look, a gun. You come in here shouting about 13th century revolvers and it's nonsense. Matt Berry Dracula, can we manifest it?
Sit down, I'm going to show you some of the most transgressive pornography you've ever seen.
How the fuck does Nandor work this ape of a body?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah,
The the very next project in fall of next year, we didn't mention, she's actually going to be introduced in Black Panther. We talked so much about that.
Yeah.
But we didn't mention Ironheart, who's getting her own series and will be introduced first in that.
Yeah, because
film.
we saw a clip of Riri Williams in the trailer, which it's cool we're finally getting it, because I know Ironheart's one of those ones that were announced after the initial lot of Disney Plus shows and has been pushed back a bit. Not as bad as Armor Wars, but we'll get to that eventually.
Armor Wars. Yeah. Poor Armor Wars.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, because it'd be nice to see how, someone who, takes up the Iron Man legacy, but as someone who, as they said, didn't really know him, because obviously she was too young when he started being Iron Man, and it's only through the blip and stuff and her genius intellect that she's kind of like building her own tech. So
I think that's why they're linking her more to like Shuri and Wakanda rather than Tony Stark. So I don't know if he'll have that big a part to play, but yeah.
Well, because I know before it was rumoured like you'd come back as an AI kind of interface thing, but then it's like you're paying him too much money again. I'd like how that sort of maybe will tie a bow on this whole Iron Man legacy thing, which was obviously, we say it, but like Armor Wars was going to be that, and maybe the tidying up of that technology and Justin Hammer and giving Rhodey like an end sort of thing.
Something, yeah.
I hope Rhodey does turn up in it at some point. Maybe an odd appearance from Jon Favreau, and if you can get her for a day, not that she'll remember she's in it, but Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I do look forward to that. Is that?
Did you guys see the illustrations of the Mark 1 Ironheart armor, and what did you think of it?
I've not seen the illustrations.
No. God damn it.
Oh, it's all. You can go look it up online. There's Funko Pops and there's behind the scenes images and concept art. So it's very similar to Iron Man's Mark 1 in that it doesn't look so refined, which I like. It looks like she's just strapped shit tons of like microwave equipment to herself or something. So it's very bulky and it's very unrefined, which that's cool if they're starting that way.
And you get someone to be around for eons and they can refine it, and you get character progression, and it's a child that's going to be beating up criminals, and it's going to be great. Is it still meant to be 6 episodes?
Exactly. I don't know. The only thing at the episode numbers that I know is that Born Again's going to be 18. Other than that, I haven't a clue.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm assuming everything's the same.
Is Born Again next? Are we on this? Is this where we are?
Not quite. We have the thing that's only made for me coming next. I don't think anybody else has bothered. But personally, I can't wait for winter 2023 to 24 to see Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Because that's been that's been renamed. It's been renamed from House of Harkness, hasn't it?
House of Harkness to Coven of Chaos.
Yeah, they changed the name.
But Coven of Witches, does that suggest more than one witch or bitch?
Yeah.
Probably, but I think they probably changed the name to avoid comparisons with House of M because it's not really anything.
Right.
Maybe,
that's a good shout. Yeah. Oh my god, they're doing House of Mutants in a witch show. Yeah, maybe let's change that.
I hope that they I hope that there's.
I didn't even think about.
I mean, more Catherine Hahn because it's amazing because she's great. I hope that there's still elements of how she was in sort of WandaVision. I don't want it to be like full on sitcom vibe.
No,
but I'd sort of like because she's like clearly been. She's clearly been fucked about a bit by the Hex anyway, in terms of she's been stranded there to be this sitcom character. Like, will you have that kind of bleed in, and she's kind of like trying to break the fourth wall, but then realizing that there's no audience there, kind of thing. You're gonna like
like a reverse anti-WandaVision, WandaVision,
and apart from that, we don't really know what's going on with it, do we?
Well, nothing, right? Nothing.
Do we know anyone else that's in it?
No, I don't.
No, they haven't revealed anything, but that's the end of next year, the start of 2024, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah,
we
ain't gonna.
With Connor in naming it Coven of Chaos suggests that it'll be her leading a group rather than on her own, so that could be funny.
Could it be the I know we got the episode 8 sort of flashback of her being sort of exiled by the other witches and then her killing them all, but is it just going to be let's find out what she was like before she became the Great Witch, and then jump forward to then her being in the sitcom thing, and then she's going to suddenly remember that Wanda Maximoff was around, and then she's going to do bibbidi bobbidi boo and save her, and then it's going to be a Wanda Agatha round 2 finale. Like, is that kind of what it is? Because I don't see this being part of the Secret Wars, for Christ's sake. I don't see it being part of that at all. I don't know where she would fit.
So personally, I kind of hope not, because that seems like a cop-out.
No, I agree.
To be that she escapes from Wanda's whatever spell, and she just finds mistreated, really minor mystical characters from the Marvel comics, and forms a group with some of the funnier, really crap magician characters and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something to look for. It was very I know it'd been announced, but to have that be seemingly an important part of Phase 5 is going to be interesting to see. Do you expect the return of Elizabeth Olsen in any capacity, whether it be cameo or archival?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Kevin Feige has teased that maybe she's not dead and will have a role to play in the upcoming Avengers films at some point, possibly. But because she's definitely not dead. Because the big energy blast, either protecting herself from the rubble or transporting herself to some other ape of a body to control.
Yeah, I suppose if she does turn up, then this is going to be the most logical place where she would reappear. But I kind of hope not, in a way.
Yeah,
Shadow the show.
I would agree. Yeah, it'd be hard for them not to do it, but I agree. Save Scarlet for something big. Save Scarlet or be really ballsy and just have her for Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty. Save her until then.
Or there's a movie slap between them, or just after, and it's just House of M.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to spring 2024, mainly because my devices are all dying, but never mind. And because that's the one you all wanted to talk about, Born Again. Matt Murdock's back in the MCU with an 18-episode
Daredevil
series.
Born Again, bitches. But for this time, you've got 3 seasons worth of episodes. You've got freaking 3 shows.
They do the Born Again storyline in season 3 on Netflix. Are they just going to repeat it?
It was loosely adapted, but season 3 was Born Again from what I understand anyway, so it does feel a bit weird, but then I think the title is more of not a fourth wall break, but an allusion to what's happened in real life, and it's just kind of I'm back, I'm born again. It's not a soft reboot, it is a soft reboot, and I'm not totally, not how you remember me from, 5 years ago, but I am back, I'm born again, bitches, and I'm here to stay. That kind of vibe.
Officially in the MCU,
yeah. Which, as long as it's a soft reboot in terms of the focus and but still a continuation, like the series on Netflix did happen, because from what we've heard from Kevin Feige and the inclusion of Kingpin and Matt Murdock in both Hawkeye and Spider-Man No Way Home has proved that that stuff did happen, but it's not going to be essential to you to see it, to get it, because we're kind of going to play with these characters a bit more. So it would be nice that you do get some payoff of. I hope it does build on the character from the past 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I hope that maybe not. I'm not expecting in this season. Maybe if we get something else, or a Daredevil movie, that I hope we get some reprieve for Bullseye, how he was left at the end of season 3, because that was kind of setting him up for an arc in season 4. It's a shame that the creative team that were on Daredevil aren't on this version of Daredevil, but they were on Moon Knight or whatever. Like, it's kind of it's strange how that all works, because they had all those plans for season 4 written up, and it would have been nice to kind of maybe not do it directly, but kind of be like, tell this bit of your story, but we want it to link in this way. D'Onofrio's confirmed, which is a given, which is nice, because it'd be nice, because obviously Kevin Feige has said that even Spider-Man will be going into the street level. It's kind of, we've got the big heroes, and we've got the street level ones. Spider-Man going into work more with the street level heroes. Hopefully that means we get. Hopefully that means we get possibly a Spider-Man movie with Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin in it, which I fucking love the aspect of. But yeah, it's just nice to have Charlie Cox back, because I think he has been, the one that everyone said, at least him back. And we've had him back in Spider-Man. We're getting him back in all these things now, and we're getting. Is 18 episodes too much, do you think, Mike?
It depends what they do with it, because I was never one of the people that complained about being 12 episodes plus or whatever on Netflix. I think if they've got the story to do it, they could do it well. Having said that, season 2 of the show on Netflix did falter after the first 6 or 7, but that was because they did the ninja storyline, which if they had a better storyline, it might have been fine, because season 3 worked. I think it depends what they're doing with it, and It depends a lot on the supporting cast. Like, I really hope they bring Deborah Wall back as
Yeah,
Karen,
and
Sheldon
yeah.
Henson as Foggy.
They
They're-
have
And
to
if you
be in
focus
it.
on their sort of stories and stuff as well,
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
really work, you know.
They're rumoured to be signing on or have signed on
They
to
have-
return in this and yet
They
to be
have
announced.
to reprise.
Maybe an announcement at D23 or Investor Day or something like that. We'll
'Cause
wait and see.
for me, that's what really worked about season 3 is that it had the same number of episodes, but it spent a good 2 to 3 dealing with Karen Page's story, and I think that was really well done and compelling. And Deborah's a good enough actor that you can follow her even if she's not a superhero and not wonder like, oh, where's the dude with the batons this week? You know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
All dumb femme fatale
it-
love interest.
it-
Save me, Daredevil man, save me! Yeah.
It built such a world within, like, even just within Daredevil itself that, you know, those characters work and better Matt Murdock as a person.
If they are doing the actual Born Again storyline from the comics, then it would make sense to make us sort of fall more and more in love with Karen Page, because by the end of the series, she dead.
Oh shit.
That is true.
Spoiler alert! For a comic that's over like 20 years old.
We
People know this.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't. You ruined my feelings, damn it. No, I'm not.
like you said, like hopefully there's no sag in the middle. What else are they going to do within the 18 episodes? Is it just going to be that? I feel like we're
Is
going
it a
to.
soft
That
you?
storyline, that storyline as well is so intriguing that it can last 18 episodes, because the whole idea of it being Kingpin's found out who he is, but instead of being petty or whatever, it's just like, I'm going to ruin Matt Murdock's life and empty his bank accounts and get his girlfriend addicted to drugs and porn, and eventually he's just going to be broken down as a man because he's going to have nothing left, and that's his, like, seeing that progress as a drama over those episodes would be really interesting. So if they do that,
But hopefully not Disney-fied. Of course,
Yeah.
it's just that's the thing. If this was the Netflix team, the same team, then you would know it would have that same sort of quality. All right, they would have to change something because it's Disney Plus and family-friendly streaming service, but
I'd argue that stuff like Moon Knight has pushed more in that direction.
definitely push the boundaries for sure.
And Hulk.
this isn't that far off the back of Blade, so by then they might have R-rated stuff.
They might have
And
worked it out,
Marvel
yeah.
Zombies is going to be R-rated when that comes out. So
Yes.
Of course. No, of course. You know, there's hope. Daredevil's got. Feige's got hope in Daredevil. Clearly, if he just said, "Yeah, fine, have as many episodes as you like."
Yeah. How many? You pick a number, and that's how many episodes you can do, Vincent. 18.
How old is your
Well,
son?
to be
18.
fair, apparently the Star Wars Andor series is going to have 40. So
What?
they're still.
Is that over 2 seasons though that they've said?
Yeah, but still, come on.
Yeah.
To commission
Bloody
something
hell.
for 40 episodes.
Bloody
Well,
hell.
Guaranteed.
Well, because
Yeah.
apparently that first season of Andor takes place, like 3-4 years before Rogue One,
One,
and then the second season they want to take place over 1 year, like leading into the beginning of Rogue One or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Bloody
I don't
hell.
think it's a big order off the back of doing like 6 episodes for everything else.
Oh yeah.
I-
I think 6 to 8 to 10 maybe. I think is like, you know, roundabout, because I feel like WandaVision could have lost an episode and equally gained one. Stuff like Hawkeye and that I think felt right for 6, but you could have maybe got a couple more out of it. But 18's going to be.
I did hear that She-Hulk's getting, I'm pretty pleased about that considering how
Yeah.
as well. So.
It was 10 originally, and then they lost one, so it is 9, isn't it? It's 9, or is it 8?
Apparently, yeah.
It's 9. Okay.
We shall see, but I love how also the Daredevil font looks like the one from the Ben Affleck movie. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you say so.
I think mainly the Born Again looks very like of the Elektra Daredevil font from the early 2000s.
The early 2000 font.
But I like how in the show anyway, like, you know, they make Charlie Cox wear the Ben Affleck specs in a flashback, so it's you know, and dress like him in the really
It's
baggy
in
suits.
universe.
So it's
It is
great.
canon. It did all happen. Oh god.
Every universe is one universe, just
Born
like
Again.
the next universe that we're in, which is just
So,
America.
next release, we're 2 parts away from the end of Phase 5, sorry.
This is season 5. Yeah,
the
season
next one-
5.
The next release on May the 3rd of 2024 is something else we've already had the setup for, and it got announced. It's Captain America New World Order.
Excited.
But we know it's going to have
The NWO.
Sam Wilson back involved, so...
Articles already talking about how they want Chris Evans to be involved in the movie in some way, which is like, no,
Of course.
let's just let Sam Wilson be Captain America now. Chris had his trilogy. Let's let fucking what's his name? What's it? Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
So Anthony Mackie have his go at it.
And Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Surely you've got to have the duo in it.
Oh yes, I mean
They are Captain America, both of them.
they've like Sebastian joked that if Anthony has anything to do with it, he won't want me anywhere near that movie. But we shall see. I'm really excited because I know they were getting the Cloverfield Paradox director.
It's the same guys that did the show as well, though, because I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it is Malcolm Spellman who's coming to do the movie to write that as well. So
Yeah, and the director of Cloverfield Paradox is rumoured to be signed on for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I mean, I like that franchise will continue, but it's going to be completely different. It's got, like you said, the creative team behind Falcon and Winter Soldier that I think by the end of it was a pretty decent, show and adaptation of like that, transition of that character. We're going to get Captain America for everyone. Like they said, the main thing is how do you represent America now, and that's kind of the challenge that they're going to find in real life writing this film and portraying it.
It was really brave, especially at the minute, to adapt Red, White and Black and do the whole kind of, there was a black Captain America, but nobody knows who he is because he was like government experiments, and he was the one that they wanted to forget about, the dirty little secret, and it's like, wow, I can't believe you actually had the balls to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I loved all that stuff, and I like how people were getting annoyed that was one of the trademarks, like, oh my god, Red, White and Black, because I think, I saw people share it like that's a rubbish title. It was like, no, that's a line of the comics. That's
It's a draft. This isn't fine print. Some of these titles.
No. You use it because it's like Michael was saying. That's the run of the comic. That's what people are saying. Oh, Red, White and Black. It's a bit on the nose kind of thing. It's like, no, that's not what if you don't know what it's for, it's because it's from the comics and that run. I'd like to see more of Isaiah Bradley as well, either in this or in a future installment kind of thing, and get her because it's his grandson. What's the character that he ends up being? Is it a version of
Patriot.
Patriot? Yeah.
Oh right, Patriot. I was gonna say Kid America.
Another young Avenger, possibly on the table.
Bradley or Patriot,
yeah.
So, intriguing.
I'm really excited for it. It's a nice way to sort of like to cap unquote the end of this phase, really, with this and one more inclusion.
There's one left, so I'll just quickly go on to that one. So on July the 28th, we're finishing Phase 5 with the Thunderbolts movie, which again, we know it's going to probably feature Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's going to have Wyatt Russell as US agent, probably maybe Yelena.
Yeah.
Rumoured to be Yelena, yeah. I think a couple of weeks ago it was rumoured to like have Yelena Belova, Zemo, John Walker. There was there was a couple of people, and there was like a surprise that was a couple of surprise ones in there. I don't know. I'll have to try and maybe find that thing again and pull it up. But there was a couple in it from like past MCU things. Obviously, Thunderbolt Ross may have been included in it at a different draft of it, but I don't think we'll be we won't be seeing
they can still have him be the inspiration for the name and have it be that like we lost a great man and he was the one that stood up against superpowered threats.
I'll have someone else
have
take on the Red Hulk thing, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was gonna say you can definitely have Red Hulk, but just not sadly with Ross.
Yeah, it would be But yeah, stuff like that. It's basically, it's been, alluded to, it's going to be their version of the Suicide Squad, which is...
I just think tonally the movie's going to be very similar to that. Ideally, James Gunn's version, not 2016. And yeah, it's just... Hopefully it will change the genre as well, like a supervillain ensemble done by Marvel and the wonderful mind of the MCU, hopefully is better than just your average ensemble movie. Like, I am excited for Thunderbolts, but again, we don't know anything about...
It's a fun, crazy way to sort of end the phase, and it's probably not going to be too consequential in terms of the overall... The overall... the
cosmic multiverse stuff.
The overall status quo of the MCU going forward. It's probably going to, maybe like Civil War, like have that effect for a little bit, but, have to be addressed at some point later on when it gets to the Avengers.
Unless Kang is part of the team, but it's a character that we aren't sure who it is.
Maybe Iron Lad's in Thunderbolts.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I think that's fun. In terms of Phase 5, certainly looks like a lot of fun. A lot more coherent than Phase 4. Well, I don't know if that's just me, because I think if we'd have had this if we'd have had this before the end of Phase 4, I think we'd have been sort of like, oh, so like you're gonna have maybe a few inconsequential stories, but when we get into the crux of it, like everything is kind of important to this, included like what happened in Multiverse was kind of a starting point for the Multiverse saga, because it seems like Doctor Strange will at least be a important figure in terms of maybe the Iron Man figure for this saga,
right?
Like in terms of his work with the multiverse.
We don't know what happens until we see the events, because I mean they could technically reveal that Doctor Strange was a Skrull, which would explain some of his weird behaviour, but also completely flip on our head what we think, you know?
Yeah, well, who knows? I feel like anyone can walk into Secret Invasion unannounced. They're going to have to put everyone in fucking, like, robes and rags. Anyone could be in Secret Invasion, I hope.
Even you at home.
Yeah, exactly. Even us at home, yeah.
What? Marvel, did you guys read the comics when they did Secret Invasion, and that was the adverts, was just like, do you know that your loved ones are not a
Yeah, stuff like that.
Ice cream, but then one of their arms was green and they had half a scroll face.
That's
you trust
such nice details in that kind of stuff. You don't really get that anymore, which is a shame.
I can't wait for the Secret Invasion trailer, because I hope they do something stupid like that. Like, I hope.
And what as we go into 6 and beyond?
Phase 6 is just a lot of gaps, with the exception of 3 movies, but I do have some information about some of them, which I can share for you. So in November of 2024, it's not the launch of Phase 6, there is a gap beforehand, but we are finally getting Fantastic Four.
Yes!
Yay, fucking finally.
I did get some news about that, which I'll read out verbatim because I actually saved it. The company which is in prep to begin shooting Blade and Black Panther is setting up generals to implement plans across its giant chessboard. Well, that's not anything to do with this. Where am I? Oh yeah, this is just various other bits of news. So we know that Destin Daniel Cretton is going to be directing Kang Dynasty when we get to it. They've also confirmed that Bassam Tariq is directing Blade. Julius Ona, as you mentioned, is set for Captain America: New World Order. And Jake Schreier from Paper Towns is directing Thunderbolts, apparently.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
The studio's actively hunting for a filmmaker for Fantastic Four, which lost John Watts. So it does say that...
Where did they lose him?
Well, he didn't want to do it, basically.
No, it's understandable after the pressure of that to then want to break.
We know the origin story because we know that Marvel don't like them. He just says a lot of people know this origin story, a lot of people know the basics. How do we take that and bring something that they've never seen before? We've set a very high bar for ourselves with bringing that to the screen. So I think that was...
Well, in my words...
Feige just said these phases are about resetting the MCU and meeting all these new characters.
Yeah.
So, my reaction to that news... Thank fuck. We know the story. Doctor Doom is coming, just because of Secret Wars. I personally I don't want Doctor Doom in the full adaptation of Fantastic Four, like, straight away. I mean, not to have him in the universe, not to have him be a part of it. I just don't want him being the big bad, because even the Roger Corman 90s unreleased. Doctor Doom is in all the movies. They've got a Rogues Gallery. They've got a Mole Man. They've got a gallery.
Yeah, Mole Man.
Someone else.
The Mole Mans.
The Mole Man.
All of the Mole Man, Fantastic Mole Mans.
I don't know, do something different for this version of Fantastic Four, especially if they've confirmed that it's not going to be an origin.
That fucking Cloud. It's me. I'm Mr. Fantastic. Not John Krasinski. I'm shorter and fatter. I was a vampire once in the island of Staten.
Galactus, you better get your fat ass out of my solar system. You're not eating my planet.
Galactus, if I don't like the cut of your jibe, shit's gonna hit the fucking space. What happened to Saturn and Jupiter? You were supposed to stop them from smashing into each other. Oh, Matt Berry in the MCU, please. At some fucking point. But, the Fantastic Four, like we've said before, is it gonna be, John Krasinski in it and directing it? Like, where do we stand on it? I'm just looking forward to Fantastic Four made by people that aren't Josh Trank. So,
with Super Skrull and Annihilus as the villain, Maybe if the
I don't
scrolls
know,
if the scrolls are actually going to be important post Secret Invasion.
Maybe you have them deal with the cleanup of the scrolls from Secret Invasion, and then you have a Doctor Doom that's out there and sort of like, I'll get you one day, you bastards.
Doctor Doom from another reality, from another dimension, from another variant of Doom is already. Doctor Doom that's already done killing the Fantastic Four in his world.
Well, and he just wants to do it again because it gets him off.
Yeah. It's what he's into.
Oh, yeah.
Susan.
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle.
So, yeah, I wanted to briefly talk after I do the next thing about some of the animated stuff. But you've already kind of said it's kind of weird because they've announced that the close to Phase 6 is going to be 2 Avengers movies in the same year. Which is going to be in May, Avengers the Kang Dynasty, and in November, Avengers Secret Wars, which, if you know the comics, you know those two are big stories. And so, yeah, people are excited, even though we don't really know much about them. So,
I feel like for that movie, all balls can drop.
All testicles, all the time.
All the cocks will be out for that movie. Like, everyone and anyone can happen. Anyone can turn up.
I like that because I love Dustin Daniel Cretton because I love Shang-Chi, so I'm looking forward to, especially after he was kind of like, I'm not really here for the ensemble thing, I'm just here for, like, do my thing and tell my story, and then it's like, do the Kang Dynasty now, or I kill you. Me, Kevin Feige. I know that the Russo...
He's a real-life Laszlo.
I know that the Russos said that Secret Wars would be the only thing that would bring them back, but I kind of don't want them to. Like, I wouldn't mind if they did, but I'm kind of, let someone a la... Because we were talking about, I don't know if you thought this the same, Mike, that, that giving Destin Daniel Cretton Kang Dynasty, like it was a bit like out of field for like that choice, because you think they would have gone for a Peyton Reed, or if he wasn't pissed off by them, a James Gunn I think would have been a shoe-in for a kind of Avengers thing, because I know that Peyton Reed's been up for Fantastic Four and that, so like would he have done the ensemble piece? Like that could have worked. I'm nothing against like Destin.
Somebody like Destin Daniel Cretton or Ryan Coogler, looking at what money
yes
films that they made.
I
would have expected that. In fact, it might still be Coogler that does Secret Wars. You don't know.
Well, I would take Coogler for Secret Wars 100%. I mean,
I'd be down.
In terms of like, I think, still working like recurring directors. I think he's one of the best. Like for like in his visual style and stuff like that, and it'd be great to see him actually tackle an Avengers movie, but then all that make him think, what, I don't really want to do a Black Panther 3, I'm kind of a bit knackered.
I'm out.
Because an Avengers movie kind of does that to people. Like Joss Whedon. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Yeah, I think it's an out of field choice, but I'm really, because I love Shang-Chi, it's one of my favourite. I like the films that have been, they link slightly to the wider universe at play, but it's also like it's its own self-contained story.
They're softer.
And I love Shang-Chi. I've really enjoyed Thor on the most part, and No Way Home. I think I like just the nostalgia that gave, and closing of a 20-year circle of Spider-Man in film. It's like of that style. I think like the fight stuff in Shang-Chi was just like phenomenal. I think if you're looking at all three, but Secret Wars, man. We don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to ask about, because if they're doing Secret Wars, do you think that one of the gaps before that is going to be the inevitable X-Men introduction, or are they going to introduce them in Secret Wars as like, this is one of the realities that's clashing with ours?
Or
another universe where there's
a plot twist in Kang Dynasty, because I just think it will be a bit sudden if all of a sudden the mutants are in Secret Wars. Something's got to happen in Kang Dynasty to then bleed into Secret Wars.
They've already introduced like 2 or 3 of them, because we've had Kamala Khan reveal, and now we're getting Namor, so they're seeing it bit by bit.
But the Kamala Khan thing's a bit, she's an Inhuman. That was a bit annoying. But because if rumours are to be believed, that then like Patrick Stewart will be back in Secret Wars, and along with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So, and if the rumours are to be believed about the contractual obligations when they bought out the Fox rights to X-Men, is that they can't recast or make any new X-Men versions of characters or movies until 2025, so that does kind of line up, but it's also like not a lot of time to be like, and here's the X-Men and this is why you care. But it may be, I don't know, or would they leave it till after and sort of give them a proper space to breathe? But then you're kind of like, a lot of these characters are dead, all the good ones you like.
They're dead. They're here to replace.
Fuck, it's Kylie Minogue. We're in Neighbours finale. If that's not the final episode of Neighbours, then what's the point?
That's the point, anyway. But no, so I did want to briefly, before I go, talk to you guys about some of the animated stuff as well, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So I know that the earliest thing is the start of next year. We're getting What If Season 2. Which includes they're doing the Marvel 1602 for one of those, which I'm intrigued about.
Okay.
They're doing a return to Captain Carter and her version of the Winter Soldier, who will be the Hydra Stomper. So it's like evil Steve Rogers, I guess.
Right.
A
Yeah.
few other random bits and pieces, but I like the sound of some of these, even though I didn't love Season 1.
Yeah, Season 1 definitely I disliked maybe more than I loved. But there's also a hella story, Odin versus Mandarin.
The Shang-Chi story.
The cut Tony Stark on Sakaar with Valkyrie and Hulk episode from the end of Season 1 that was just like, and Nebula, Gamora's also here, kind of thing, which was a bit
awkwardly in it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think What If is a good breeding ground for those kind of ideas, and has helped obviously the multiverse come to life in terms of Captain Carter would not have been in Multiverse of Madness without the popularity of her appearance in What If. And I look forward to see what other stories we'll get. Hopefully we're going to get some more later Phase 3 and Phase 4 stuff. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of that. It's interesting.
I'll get to it because there's a few Phase 4 characters in a future project that comes up, but I'll get to that when we get to that. But so the next animated thing is the big one, which I'm really excited for. Hopefully you are too if you're of a certain age. In autumn 2023, we're getting X-Men 97.
Yes. And we're going to find out more about like any returning cast members and what it's going to be. But Magneto's leading them, which I think is great.
With a different look.
Yeah.
With hair.
With his big sexy M. House of Daddy.
Yeah, I love the concept art though. Well, the actual art from the show, because they look almost all the same, but with the exception of like Storm has a bit more of a mohawk, looks a bit more badass. Otherwise, they're the same characters we know and love. And as you said, because the series ended with Professor Xavier missing, Magneto's leading the X-Men we know, and I think most of the voice cast have agreed to come back, as far as I'm aware, but we'll find out later. And I just love. I'm nostalgic for any '90s X-Men stuff, man. I'll happily just hear that theme too.
Yeah, definitely. Do we know how many episodes are in this season?
Done proper versions of Cyclops and Dark Phoenix. So.
Yes, that Dark Phoenix adaptation was great. Do we know how many episodes are in this one?
We do not yet, but I would imagine it's going to be more than 6, considering the original show was like 14, 15 a season. So.
Exciting
18, one a week.
times.
Bad Batch it's Bad Batch 2.0. If Star Wars can have one of their shows have that many episodes, Marvel got to have one animated thing, and that's got to be X-Men. Have 18, sod it. Do X-Men 18 episodes.
There's going to be another season after this anyway, so.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which is good. So people not
36.
I already mentioned, but in 2024 sometime, which is all we get. Well, not finally actually, because there's another one. But one of the things that I mentioned, in 2024 at some time, they're doing a Marvel Zombies animated series. They've confirmed it as MA, and it is basically a team of heroes from the same What If universe that will consist of a lot of the Phase 4 guys. So it's got like Yelena and Shang-Chi, and I think Wong and stuff.
Henry Wu's in it.
Face the various zombies. It's gonna be cool.
And then, literally, only because I got it up on my phone,
yeah.
How exactly does Spider-Man freshman year fits into the MCU? Spider-Man freshman year.
This is the thing, this is the controversy, because it turns out it flipping doesn't, but they've done a Superman and Lois by trying to say it's kind of canon to the MCU in that it's all one big multiverse, but they've already basically broke MCU canon because they have bad guys that shouldn't be in there early, and he's got way too many suits, and they have Norman Osborn take on the Tony Stark role, and he's made his own version of Doc Ock and stuff, so...
Already?
It's basically canon to the MCU, but they're trying to convince you it is so that you can...
But Charlie Cox is in it as Daredevil, so how does that work?
Yeah, well, I can say multiverse, they can just say, like, it's a very similar universe, but not the same. But we also know Tom Holland isn't going to be voicing Spider-Man in that, so...
Hopefully it's the guy who voiced him in What If.
Yeah, in What If.
Because he was quite good.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah,
that was all I had to say.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Marvel stuff. There's obviously more will come out. We'll get more details of stuff. Overall, I think it was definitely a big mic drop kind of moment. I think because it was clarity, like we've said. It was excitement for other stuff we didn't know was coming. Other stuff we had an inkling of. Obviously, we got first looks at Black Panther. We got a better look at She-Hulk. We got a bunch of products to like that maybe people aren't as excited for as others, but like, you know, X-Men 97, man, stuff like that. You know, everything. There is something for everyone, I think, in this. And I'm excited to find out what the rest of Phase 6 is and where that sort of leaves us off for this saga. And whether hopefully we'll learn all about that, and obviously stuff will chop and change and be added, I assume, like, you know, it always happens with these kind of things. But will anything else be added that we haven't heard about yet? Because we know that of the trademark, well, the rumoured trademark list, a lot of it turned out to be true. There's still stuff on there like Red Guardian Generation, a new adaptation of The Runaways, Hercules, the supposed title for the Shang-Chi sequel, Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time, Midnight Suns adaptation, the Black Knight Origins.
I think that was already revealed to be a video game because this came out, by the way.
Oh, Midnight Suns, yeah, that is a game, yeah.
But I want it now. I want an adaptation. Obviously, Young Avengers in some capacity, Celestials and other such things, all the way up until 2030. So, will any more of those things that haven't been revealed yet be revealed? Because, you know, I'm interested to see.
Shang-Chi too is a safe bet. Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think that Shang-Chi's that's a great title. If that is the.
And that could potentially tie in with.
Tie into the Kang stuff, and then that's like Destin's test run of
Heck,
Avengers.
Is Destin doing the sequel? Is that a thing?
He's signed on for the sequel and also a Disney Plus series of the Ten Rings following Zhe Ling, and a apparent rumoured Wonder Man show.
Yeah, that's Wonder Man. Yeah, that's the other thing. Mm-hmm.
So some of the stuff that we know was coming that wasn't properly talked about. Like we said, Lou said the Halloween special, the Untitled Wakanda Disney Plus series, which there was an Okoye rumoured one. We don't know if those are the same thing or two completely different entities. Armor Wars, we still don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's still happening. Wonder Man, we know. Nova is still rumoured to get a Disney Plus adaptation, possibly a movie, but that's unclear. The current state of Deadpool 3, where that's going, we don't know about that yet, but, you know,
it's got to be
more stuff to be. Oh, that's.
Hello. I thought someone else joined the chat. I was like,
that's the Ironheart stuff. That looks cool.
That's the Ironheart Mark 1 armor.
That's delicious. Oh, I can't wait.
Sexy.
No, don't say that. She's a kid. Mark Connor.
The armor is sexy.
Oh, good. Yes. Yeah. Well done. Fucking
sexy.
Jesus Christ. And obviously a Spider-Man 4 of some kind has been talked about by Kevin and Amy Pascal. So we know that will happen at some point. But what do you make of, because obviously we know that the extended of Tom Holland's contract was a crossover appearance and another solo appearance. What do you make of the rumours coming out today that he will appear in the Fantastic Four movie?
I assumed it would be Secret Wars, to be honest, but... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like, that would be great to have him in that, but also, like, can you, like, to reenact his first appearance in the comics, like, to have him with the Fantastic Four, I think would be...
But I think, but why are we calling it Fantastic Four? There's the Future Foundation. There's 4 people in that. We've had blue and black in 3 other movies. Why can't we have a white and black suit? Every Spider-Man has had different colours of costumes. It's merch I can see on the shelves. Heck, white and black. What other costume hasn't there been for a Spider-Man live-action adaptation yet? I just think do different. If you're going to put Spider-Man in the Fantastic Four F4, do FF Future Foundation, at least for half a movie maybe, and then revert back to Fantastic Four. but I just think it'd be an experiment.
All in all, a lot to be excited for, a lot to digest. There's some more stuff on there, but we'll get into that in coming weeks, months, years, and millennia. But thank you, Mike, for wanting to come on and talk about all this. It's been a pleasure to have you back so soon. It's been lovely for you to return and not have to talk about a certain vampire. But you want to plug any stuff before you head off into the ether and wait for Secret Wars?
Yeah.
Well, I do sort of run or co-run 2 different podcasts. One that is all about movies called the Silver Screen Podcast. Our newest episode is due to be released on August the 4th, a day before the release of Prey on Disney Plus, and it's going to be I'm not in it, but my co-host DK and a couple of guests are reviewing 1987's Predator, the original Arnie movie. Or you can also check us out on Hit or Miss Star Trek podcast, just reviewing all things Star Trek. We are about to start our 3rd series, which is based around time travel, and we have a few good interviews and stuff on that channel as well. You can find us. Links to everything are on the 2 Twitter pages, which is at podcast_screen for the Silver Screen, or at HOM Trek, that's Home Trek for Hit or Miss Star Trek, and then you can just type in the name of the podcasts onto like Instagram or Facebook and find us. But we're also always linked on all videos and Twitter pages and stuff, so do look us up.
Very well done. Very well said.
Yes. And if you really want an episode that goes off the rails, you can listen to when we talked about What We Do in the Shadows, because that was
that was a fun one.
You still only came second in the Off the Rails stakes to the episode a couple of weeks later when I had We Pay for Your Floor review in Chicago, which was the maddest 2.5 hours of my life.
I still need to finish that episode. That's great, honestly.
It's great.
Yeah, please check out all of Mike's stuff. He's become a dear friend of the podcast, and it's funny because we started talking about Torchwood all those year ago or whatever, whenever it was. I don't know.
2 years, I think. Yeah.
Is it? Wow.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. How time flies when you've got a bulbous penis, Clara. But yeah, you no doubt you will be back, because I know Andy was talking about maybe having you, him, and Will on, and us 5 sort of retrospectively sort of talking about the Whittaker era
rinsing the Whittaker era
as it finishes.
Clean from the sink.
Wow, I think Connor's opinions are already well versed. But we'll have you on again at some point in the future, Mark. But thank you very much for joining us today. If you want to follow this here podcast of unnecessary shite, you can follow at Pasty Sheep across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for some reason, even though there's not really much on there. But hey ho. If you want to send an electronic mail,
then send it to. I was going to say my personal email. You don't want none of that. Pasty Sheep
Nerd Bible
Podcast at gmail.com. It's been a long day. Some of us work 9 to 5, This is overtime.
If I don't like the cut of your jibe, shit's gonna hit the wind. Fucking, that's working overtime. Try having a child, you bastard.
This is off hours.
Where
is your child?
That's a good question. I don't actually know. But
where is your child? I don't see it.
But until next time, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you in the Secret Wars of podcasts.
In 3 years' time.
Where it's where literally Will just sits on an iron throne and makes us all fight one another.
Ninny nonny.
Ninny nonny.
Podcast Battle World.
Oh,
Thanks,
God.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ninny nonny.